That's the way to get this party started right there. Yep, they got it. Yes, they're showing up this morning. I got two. Oh. Whoa. Woo. Oh yeah, oh God, come here! Woo! Oh my God! Oh my God, it's a 6-pounder, dude. Boom!
It's the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Lake Champlain is a monster. Huge, full of monster smallmouth, monster largemouth. A perfect place for a battle among the best in the business. The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain 2020, fourth stop of this season for the Bassmaster Elite Series, and we are into the final 3 hours of fishing on this day where we decide it all. Jamie Hartman, the New York native, trying to win this thing wire to wire, took the lead this morning by a single ounce over David Mullins. Boy, it was so close. All the weights within 2.5 pounds in this top 10 who remain on the lake. We've spread it out a little bit, Mark Zona, but we still got a great one going on, a barn burner.
Absolutely one of the closest championship Sundays we have ever covered on the Bassmaster Elite Series together the last 2 decades. Take a look at our Humminbird Lay of the Lake on the east side of the Adirondack Mountains there in New York. Starting at the bottom of Lake Champlain, you see Ticonderoga, New York. About a 70 to 80 mile run, not a very big player in this tournament. As you head north, you see Burlington, Vermont, on the right-hand side of your screen, Plattsburgh, New York, left-hand side of your screen, and really from Plattsburgh north, that has been the major player. It has been the dominant player this time around.
Well, this time around, the first 3 days of competition, as we welcome you to Bassmaster Live here in the Bassmaster Studios. Mark Zona, the first 3 days of competition, Champlain was a friendly monster. Beautiful weather, everyone able to catch them, everyone able to go where they want, when they want. Today, it's reared its head some, maybe not as much as was predicted.
Exactly right. It started off very windy this morning. We got swells 2 to 3 feet, and then it kind of died off. But we talked about it actually on day one of competition. Whenever we come to Lake Champlain, weights are very condensed together. It's really easy to catch a 3-pound bass, which is about 17 to 18 inches long. It's very hard to get past that 4-pound mark here. And almost every one of our anglers in the top 10 have done that. Look for the next 3 hours, either a big fish caught or lost, that will seal the deal in this tournament.
All right, here in the Bassmaster Studios, we are loaded, ready to go here. And in the studios also, we have Such and Ronnie, Mike Sukon. Such, what are you looking at for this final push?
We have seen a lot, but I want you to consider what we might not have seen. Jason Williamson, 3 hours ago, was reported to have 18 pounds. He started the day 2.5 back of the lead. We don't know what he's got. Our Bass Track, our way that we monitor the fish catches and keep up with the weights, is out. He's out of cell service. We don't know. He could have 22. He would need that probably to come and win, but it's a possibility.
One of the few unknowns we're dealing with. We started pretty much as a shootout, Ronnie Moore. It's still pretty much a shootout, especially at the top of the leaderboard.
It has been. We've seen 17 to 17.5 pounds is the baseline. That is the average bag this week. And to see those guys catch 20, and have that consistency right there, that's what they need to win. We know going into the final day, 2 pounds, 12 ounces separated first to 10th. I don't know of a closer event that we've had to know that the top 5 are within 1 pound and 1 ounce of each other. Everyone's in it going in the last 3 hours of this competition.
Well, after the first day was completed, the top story, and still is the top story, the top man in the tournament, New York native Jamie Hartman, trying to win this one wire to wire. We look at his day earlier today.
Exactly right. An angler that really cut his teeth on Oneida Lake in Syracuse, New York, but won a lot of regional tournaments on this exact lake. And yesterday was just a very trying day. He held the lead after our weigh-in, but had a couple mechanical issues, lost about 1.5 hours of fishing yesterday, and it kind of spun the wheels off a little bit. It wasn't the usual steady, rock-steady angler that we follow in Jamie Hartman, and you almost felt it a little bit this morning with him, but as the day wore on, did not catch as many here on day number 4 in the morning, but slowly they have become the right ones.
Absolutely. And you better believe here's a guy who's only been out here since 2016, but he knows how to win. He won twice in 9 regular season events last year in 2019. Love to pick up one here in New York to get it going here.
Right here are his 2 latest upgrades of his 5 bass limit. Again, you have to have a 5 bass limit. You can upgrade from there. Catch a bigger one, throw the smaller one out, and 2 very solid ones for Jamie Hartman.
Kind of got the feeling that this morning was all about sort of getting back on track from a difficult day yesterday. Like you said, Mark, Zona pretty much behind schedule to start, but getting things back on track, it would appear.
It has not been as many, but the quality definitely there in the last 2 hours for Jamie Hartman.
Let's see where he is set up. Now as we get out to Jamie Hartman live, let's catch up with him.
Well, we finally filled up with what I wanted to fill up with. I mean, 18 pounds. I got 18 pounds. I need a big fish. I'm not getting the 4-pound smallies over there today. You know, I would get the 4-pound smallies in the first couple hours. It's a weird day. It's, you know, I knew it was going to be different. I did know that, so it's no surprise. But I feel like I've got to make a move and go for the win. I've got to have a one big fish or 2, you know. I got to get a couple fish in that upper 4 class, and I might have a shot at it. I don't know, but I know what I need to do. And I could sit there and you know, maybe I can just upgrade just a little bit at a time, and it might be enough, but, you know, at the same time, it might not be enough. So I can try for a big largemouth or big smallmouth over in the inland. I've got a couple spots where I might be able to do that. So it was time to make a move. I milked that spot for 5 hours, and there's still fish there. I mean, I left it and I went 3 for 3. 3 casts, 3 fish. You know, I lost the second one, caught the third one, but there's still fish there. But even if I could bust a big one, man, I probably would think about going back over and upgrading up to them, you know, close to 4-pound smallmouth if they're there. That would be ideal, but
We talk about the weather. It doesn't look bad at all right there. Now it's been coming in waves instead of a steady build.
Giant fish hooked right now for Brandon Polinick.
Literally set off pad and saw one and pitched back behind the boat. It is a freaking big one. And it was way back there, so I don't know how good of a hook I got in it. But that is they always look bigger when they jump, but that is a big one. Come on.
Brandon Polinick has a 5 bass limit in his live well.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Easy, 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 easy.
Catches one larger than his smallest bass, he can make that trade.
Come on. Come
up
on.
his total weight.
She's running right at us. She's going to turn. I knew she was going to turn. Come on. Come on. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. No, 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 no. Ha, ha, ha. Please get in this boat. Oh, you're good, you're good, you're good. Come here. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Dude, this is such a big one. Yes! Yes! Woo! Look how thick that one is. Oh my gosh. Look how thick that one is. Oh, belly rubber. Yeah. Yes. Woo. 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 That was crazy. I don't know if I can scroll back to even show you guys the fish. Oh, I gotta get the depth right. Look at this. Look. Here's the fish right here. Look. Let me move the cursor. Look, we set off pad. I saw that fish and caught it. Look, no sonar, set off pad, saw that fish pitch behind the boat and caught it. How crazy was that? Oh, all right, I need to get under here because we're gonna have to beam some. Sorry. You're good. There we go.
Get a great upgrade out of that one. Let's have another look. Solid day for Brandon Polnick so far. He lost one pretty big early on, but that's been the only significant loss of his day, so that's a pretty good track record.
Really,
Party started.
Brandon Polnick came out firing it. A big bag yesterday. Caught fish all day long. Made a giant call right before our weigh-in.
Gotta control all the variables.
And that fish right there, in all honesty, is going to put him within one solid bite of tracking down Jamie Hart.
Absolutely. That was a special place for Lake Champlain. A special fish for Lake Champlain.
I'm going to say that was of 4 days of competition. This is one of the biggest smallmouth we have seen landed.
Extraordinary. Big for this tournament.
Brandon Polnick fishing in the inland sea, which a lot of the locals and tournaments past, a lot of the better quality smallmouth come out of the inland sea, the Vermont side of Lake Champlain. Brandon Polnick fishing.
Loss. Yeah.
Predominantly between, call it 20 all the way out to 40, 45 feet of water. Very, very close to the deeper basin of the inland sea that really drops into deep water. And you're looking at, if you follow the Bassmaster Elite Series, one of the best smallmouth bass fishermen on the planet.
Three-time champion on the Elite Series, former Bassmaster Angler of the Year back in 2017.
Gosh, that one right there that he just caught, a true game changer with a couple hours left of fishing.
He entered that as a 4-pound, 4-ounce fish to get him within 1 pound and 5 ounces of the lead.
Wow.
And that one could be even bigger. It could be one of the top 5 smallmouth we've seen this week. All of our big bass each day have been largemouth. That is one of the biggest smallmouth we've seen.
Both long and fat, built out. Not all of them in this lake are like that. Many of them just coming off the spawn and they're a little skinnier, but that one was good to go.
Somebody that made some big, big moves just before our noontime break, before we came on to ESPN2, David Mullins from Tennessee.
Well, 12 o'clock and we should have well over 20 pounds. I blew this tournament right here on the last. I just lost a 4-pounder. Jumped off. I lost one close to 5, if not over 5, earlier about an hour ago. And I've changed hooks. It just doesn't matter. You cannot the hot water. You cannot keep them down. They want to jump. This is the only thing I can efficiently cover the water with here and get them to bite, and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I'm just, you know, a lot of times crankbaits, you're 80%. Here, it's like 50-50 that you get one in, and it's just, it's heartbreaking, man. But there's nothing else I can do. I mean, this is the only thing I know to do to catch them. You know, a chatterbait, just, I can't cover it as fast, and the water's a little too deep for a chatterbait. It's just one of those things, and you know, I got 5 good ones, and if you put the 2 I lost in there, then I got 21 pounds. So I'm a little heartbroken right now, if you can't tell. But I mean, we still got plenty of time, and who knows what can happen. I've got 2 hours and 20-some minutes before I have to leave, so we're going to keep doing this. But I mean, I've had the bites. I just haven't capitalized, and I've changed hooks. I was using EWGs, now I'm doing round bends, and I don't know if it's going to make any difference. It's just hard to keep these things down.
Well, the pressure's always on the Bassmaster Elite Series. The urgency always there, but when you get to this point on the final day, it gets ratcheted up a little bit.
And he's lost giants every day of this tournament. The problem on Lake Champlain with the smallmouth, they go one place when you hook them, and that's generally eye level with you.
Boy, big blast across the bow for the rest of these anglers here from Brandon Pollock. Moments ago, catching an extraordinarily smallmouth for this competition right here, and that's moving the needle. That is for sure. Pollock now within a pound 9 of our leader.
Well, we just seen
fighter. Oh yeah,
another ship down the board.
So we're going to check that out for you. You can bet we'll have that story for you when we come back. A lot on the way on Bassmaster
Live.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Wherever the trail gets rough and the mud gets deep, you'll find a Toyota Tacoma. It's the best-selling compact pickup in America for 12 years. And it's not because we baby them. If you want to play, you need a Tacoma.
At Mercury, we invested thousands of hours of engineering manpower so you can enjoy hours and hours of untapped horsepower. Introducing the all-new V6 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly. At Mercury, there are no limits to what we'll do to make sure you have no limits either. Introducing the all-new V8 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly.
Your time on the water is precious. You return season after season to make unforgettable memories. Fight a few fish, reconnect with friends, and recenter yourself. If you count on having this time, you need an outboard you can count on to power it. That's why boaters stay with Yamaha for the long run, for life. They know reliability starts here.
If you want to play, you need a Tacoma.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is brought to you by Power Pole, Skeeter Boats, Yamaha, and by Toyota.
The final push toward the final reckoning. That's the weigh-in coming up at 3 o'clock. We'll tell you more about that as we go through the afternoon here. Plenty of time fishing left. We had a bit of a lull, I would say, for 45 minutes, maybe an hour or so before we came on the air here at 12 noon Eastern time. That's kind of been broken up.
Exactly right. It was probably the biggest lull of the event, and thought, man, maybe these guys kind of burn these areas out. That is absolutely not the case. We saw a giant from Brandon Pollock. We are just getting word off of the water. There is another shot on the way.
Yeah, we noticed Seth Fighter had moved to the top right before we had to take our break right there. Now we're going to fill in the rest of the story for you right here, and it should be fairly spectacular. This was moments ago with Seth Fighter.
Biggin. Oh my God. Oh my God. I need this one so bad. This is it, dude. This is it. Oh my God, it's a giant, dude. Freaking stay on, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is him, dude. This is freaking him. Stay on. Stay on. Oh my God. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Come on. Come on, baby. Oh my God. Come here. Come here. I got him! I got him! Oh. 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 Woo! Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, dude.
What do we have as his smallest? What was his smallest?
I think it was still like a 2.5, 2 3/4
Wow,
at least.
that is a big shift.
Maybe 3 pounder.
In Seth Feider's weight.
I think.
He's shaking.
Maybe a $100,000 fish.
Yeah, that's a call. That is a call.
Oh my
That
gosh.
is
That is Mutt and Jeff right there. Not 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes after Brandon Polnick caught his game changer, matched there by Seth Feider.
And one of the things Seth Feider has done today different than the last 3 days, if you've been watching this event, he's caught some really big largemouth, and I'm sure we're going to show you sometime in the next couple hours. Brandon Polnick hooked up. He has not gone to those largemouth today. He has lived on that New York flat up near Rouse's
he's
Point.
being really weird. It's not little. It's not little. There's a lot of them down there too. Oh my gosh. There's like 10 of them on that rock. The rock I was coming to fish. Oh, about 26. Look at that one. I got you, Dom. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Like, he might Cole. He's just fighting so funky, but he's fat. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Oh. Playing these reindeer games, huh? You don't grab the line, you just guide the line. No. Dude, just give up so I can catch one of your buddies. You're fatter fish. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think that one's gonna Cole.
That sucker got some shoulders.
I don't know. It's not as big. I mean, that's big. That's good old fat Samsonite right there. I think this is our smallest one. Gosh, dang, they're clones. You have to check, but it's like, what are you supposed to do?
I think we will see the biggest bag of the tournament,
problem,
over
but-
22-1 caught today, just seeing how these fish are
I think you're right.
I think 22-1 will be broken, and we will see
you are
whoever catches the biggest bags will win the event.
You are watching a heavyweight match with some of the best smallmouth fishermen that we have on the Elite Series. Gonna head back. He's had a Seth Fighter landing him on a crankbait, somebody that has lost him. He's been vocal about it every day of the tournament. David Mullins just
Big
north
one. Big one.
of Seth Fighter.
Giant. Freight trained it. Come on, baby. Stay hooked up. He's got to be hooked good because he absolutely crushed it. Oh, man, stay. Oh, stay. Stay hooked. I think he's got it good. He's got it pretty good. It's a big one. No!
Oh,
no!
not again.
No! 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 I mean, like, I'm almost in tears right now.
That one comes in the boat. That puts him right there, right behind.
If we'd landed everything, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, man. I've caught thousands on crankbait. Caught thousands on crankbaits.
More look at something you don't really want to see.
Hard to watch.
Yeah.
Hard to watch. $100,000 on the line, and he has had 2 bass do exactly this today.
2 good ones, too.
And you can catch up from losing a 3-pounder on this. Gosh, that is not good.
And it's not like the guys have lost one for the first time ever or something, and it's always perfect. These guys have lost them. So when they react that way, you know it was the fish, the one they needed.
Brutal.
It's going to be tight.
That was an exhausting segment.
He's got time, though. He's got time to put one in the boat. We're getting closer and closer to weigh-in time. 3 o'clock, it all goes down, Ronnie.
It's going to be so tight. The top 5 have all been within a pound all day. We'll be able to see them all go back to Plattsburgh Boat Ramp, and we'll be able to watch it go down at the weigh-in on Bassmaster.com and literally see someone's life get changed with $100,000 today.
Right now, kind of hard to say who that might be. We know it's going to be a battle royal to the very end. Look at how tight those weights are in the first 6 spots. Man, oh man, how can you beat this sort of stuff on the final day of a big-time tournament like this?
Wow.
On a lake that is obviously lighting up right now as we speak. We got to take ourselves a quick break, and I mean a quick break, and we'll be right back on Bassmaster
Live.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
for over 70 years and 19 consecutive NMMA Consumer Satisfaction Awards, Skeeter continues to set the standard. And now, through October 19th, you can fall into savings with rebates of up to $1,500 on the FXR Limited, up to $2,500 on the FXR Apex, and double rebates of up to $3,000 on the ZX250. Fall into savings now through October 19th. Visit your local dealer or SkeeterBoats.com and fall into savings on the Skeeter boat of your dreams.
You're watching the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Big time fireworks. We start up our final 3 hours of fishing this 2020 Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain. What a great playing field we have for the best in the business, and we have seen two anglers catch game-changer fish, absolute game-changer fish for both Seth Bider and Brandon Polinick, and see how tightly everything is knotted, especially in the top 4 or 5 spots on the leaderboard.
Exactly right, and right before break, that is everything that the Bassmaster Elite Series is, positive and negative. 4th place, David Mullins. He has had some giants hooked, and this just happened before break.
Freight train, come on, baby. Stay hooked up. He's got to be hooked good because he absolutely crushed it. Oh, man, stay. Oh, stay. Stay hooked. I think he's got it good. He's got it pretty good. It's a big one. No! 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 No!
Boy, one head shake and unravel the biggest moment of the day for you out there. That's how brutal it can be. How brutal it can be.
We're going to get over to Brandon Polinick in the Inland Sea right now. He said he was going to shift gears about 2 hours
We'll finish
ago.
that conversation later.
And he is hooked back up.
They're just all over this flat. I'm not even back up to the boulder yet. I'm just working my way back up to it. It looked like a giant one on the graph. Like it looked so big on the graph, I wasn't sure it was a bass. Come on. Come on. Come on. Stay on there. Stay on there. Stay on there and be a bass. 2-part criteria. It feels like a bass, though. Come on. Come on. Oh!
Oof.
Dude, it just came off. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Literally just pulling and came off. Oh, it makes me want to puke. Oh, it makes me want to puke. Dude. What the heck? Oh my gosh, that was such a big one. Cannot be doing that. If we're gonna win, we cannot be doing that. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was a big one.
Mark Zona, can you explain why that happens most often for our new viewers?
In all honesty, the way that, surprisingly, David Mull is using treble hooks. He's got 6 hooks. It's more likely to lose them on that lure because they have leverage. But what Brandon Polinick is doing with a drop shot, you're looking at about a 95% land ratio. It's just one of those days, man. It's one of those days being maybe a little bit cloudy that we've seen a lot of lost fish today compared to the first 3 days of this event.
Get out to now 6th place, Kobe Krieger.
Hey, and we have some footage of earlier this morning.
Oh my gosh! Can't wait to show you that.
Train wreck.
Well, we got a couple hours left to go, and it's been sort of a struggle today, to be honest with you. I'm in search of 2 big ones, and I'm doing what I like to do, and how I've caught big ones all week. I'm, targeting isolated places I've caught them at before in the past. I haven't really practiced most of these places, but I know that they live here, or at one time used to live in these places I'm fishing, and I'm fishing for 2 bites in the next 2 hours is my plan, and if it happens, I'll be a happy man.
Oh yeah. Well, earlier today, now hang with me here, gang. This is a little bit of a what the kids call a sketchy hot mess. Okay, that music right there means none other than the Power Pole replay of the day. Kobe Krieger from Florida, originally from northern Indiana, hooks a smallmouth here on a jerk bait, and while fighting it, another one grabs it. So he has 2 hooked. Now wait for it.
Did he smoke that thing? It's a pretty good one. Dude, there's like 3 with him. I got 2. I got 2. I had 2. I got 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 it. Oh! I lost the one. I lost the one. Dang, damn it. Dang it. I had 2. I had them both in my arms. Dang it. Dang it. Oh. No. Oh. Dang it. Dude, I had 2 on. I had 2, I had both in my arms, and the one got off. Dang it.
So he landed the one and then completely hooked himself in the arm. That's the Power Pole replay of potentially the season, and I don't know if you put that as a not so top Sports Center, not so top 10, because there was some success in that disaster.
Thank you, Kobe Krieger. That's my favorite moment of this tournament.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
If we have another 15-minute moment like we had last segment, that won't be Power Pole replay of the day for long, because there's some big ones getting caught.
Complete Bluto from Popeye.
Yep. You guys take way too much joy
Sorry.
out of that.
No, it's Power Pole replay of the day, man. What a mess.
That's tough. These smallmouth hate boats. They don't like getting hooked. And they fight, and then when they see the boat, they fight some more, and they get in the boat, and they fight some more. You told me that one.
Rain may be here to stay for a while. Looks like.
We've had 3 anglers. We've had 3 people get hooked, and Kobe was one of them 2 times in this tournament.
Just his shirt, though. His jersey, right?
That's right.
Just his sleeve.
Getting a look at that topwater bait. Kobe Krieger caught that giant day 2 stringer on.
Had a little.
Yeah. I just didn't want you guys running over.
That's something little perch. Catch a 6-inch perch.
That's why the smallmouth are so big in this lake. Those perch are pretty much everywhere you fish in Lake Champlain.
4-pounder blows up on it, don't he? Imagine that.
Can you go on that side with the rest of them? All right, thank you.
That's also when you see the lake fire up.
Sun out today.
Everywhere.
Literally,
Everywhere.
the last hour, it's been here and there, and then the last 20 minutes, it's been from our top guys, each of them catching, hooking, and landing
He's on out here.
biggest fish of the day.
So, what's that? Yeah, I'm throwing an old Zer spook. It's an old one. It's got me to this point, and hopefully it's going to get me to the finish line. So Super Spook Junior.
It's your AFCO Taste the Bait. Kobe Krieger, one of the best
One of them
topwater
baits that you can
fishermen.
throw, and makes you feel real good when you go home sometimes, and then sometimes you're really mad at it and you don't want to throw it for a while.
You notice how he's twitching his rod tip, making that bait what they call walk back and forth. It is a great bait to catch big ones, but a lot of times they have really, really bad aim. They will show themselves, but boy, they will miss it too. We got to see a lot of that yesterday with Kobe Krieger.
More missing than getting.
It's one of those deals if you wonder, well, why doesn't he throw something that they hit better? When it comes to bass fishing, topwaters oftentimes produce some of the biggest bites you'll see. Even if you throw other baits in that area, the topwater will draw the biggest bite.
Boy,
Jamie Hartman.
This is far, far from over.
Oh, way far from
And
over.
I'm going to tell you, I looked at what Brandon Polinick, his last call, he has a giant stringer today.
Listed as having 18.2. Well,
I
have
go
much
no.
more than that.
I go no.
Jamie Hartman currently sitting 4 ounces unofficially behind our leader, Seth Feider. Seth Feider having caught a great smallmouth in the past half hour as well. Again, these weights are unofficial, according to Bass Track. Not official until we get to weigh-in time. That's 3 o'clock. That's a ways off, so a lot of opportunities for things to shuffle around on that leaderboard before we get to the final reckoning. So stay with us here on Bassmaster
Live.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
I'm pro angler Andy Montgomery. I've been making my living with Strike King products for a long time. So when they showed me the new Tour Grade line, I was all in. I knew I could trust it. What I didn't know was how easy it was to use. With the spooling tool and the prepaid envelope to recycle your old line included in every single box. Not only is it the best line on the market, it gives you the easiest fishing experience possible. Find out more at StrikeKing.com.
Introducing the Bass-U TV app. Get the most out of your Bass-U TV subscription and learn on the go with the Bass-U TV app. Unlimited access to 700 plus training videos. Multiple new releases each week, including seminars, on-water videos, live shows, interviews, and other original content. The Bass-U TV app. Never stop learning.
In the wild, nature dictates that when it's time to eat, animals will instinctively find and devour the meal that satisfies them most. In the water, Berkeley Powerbait's scientifically proven formula triggers the natural predatory instinct in bass. Now available in a plethora of shapes, sizes, and colors. Berkeley Powerbait. Fish bite and won't let go.
You're watching the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Today on ABC and the ESPN app, we'll have 2 more NBA games for you from the bubble at Disney. Trailblazers Celtics is at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, and in our primetime game, it's Giannis and the Bucks taking on James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and the Rockets. Special NBA countdown gets you hyped and set to go at 8 Eastern.
Tommy, I want to throw you big hats off, my friend. You called it. Brunson taking down Shabazian last night. Good call. Shabazian knocked out.
Yeah, getting August off on the right foot.
I would say,
I would say, yeah.
Yes.
On the right foot. We'll see how that pans out. Seth Feider on top right now by a whole 4 ounces ahead of Jamie Hartman. Started the day with the lead. He's been the leader for the past 3 days, trying to go wire to wire again in this. The New York native, Brandon Palaniuk, making big moves as well. Big moves that weren't so positive. A couple of our other anglers, but man, we've got things popping out here on Lake
This
Champlain.
guy right
safe
here
to say.
has laid a beat down on him the last 2.5 hours. Hooked up again with Brandon Palaniuk in the Inland Sea.
I got something. I gotta have a drum or something. Or a big walleye.
Now, I want you to know something. When he lands a fish, those fish in the Inland Sea are built so much different than anything else we've
I
seen.
see it. But it's fighting like a drum. It just didn't even want to move. What are you? What are you? It's a smallmouth. It is a smallmouth. I don't know if I got him hooked in the belly, but it is a smallmouth. No joke. He's just fighting really weird, like I got him hooked in the belly or something. Come here. No, it's in the mouth. Oh, gosh. Yes! Yeah. He's just fighting funny. Yeah. He's just fighting funny. We're just blind pitching out there and catching them. Freaking me, Angel. Look at that thing. Beautiful. See, that's what I'm talking about. Those giant, see how tall their dorsal fins are and how big their tails are? It's because they're chasing alewives and perch. It's the evolution that builds them. Problem is, I look at him like, I think he's gonna help. Ow. I mean, I think that's a 4-pounder. Problem is, dude, they all look like freaking clones. Like, you're like, yeah, I think it's bigger, but I can't just be like, he's not that much bigger to say, to just throw him in the well and say, yeah, he's definitely bigger. Like, I still have to beat him. Like, I'm pretty sure he's.
They are honestly all clones that he has in his live well, and he is going to be a big, big headache for Jamie Hartman and Seth Feider later today at our weigh-in, no doubt.
We wear that old phrase out, being around the right ones. Boy, he's around the right ones
no
this
doubt.
afternoon. This is where it goes down.
He only started the day 1 pound, 1 ounce out of the lead, and
Right.
he was 3rd here last time in 2017.
Seth Feider still has a lot of work to do because this guy, when he gets to Championship Sunday, he made the comment, give me a shot here on Lake Champlain. There's a victory, his first victory back in 2012, Bull Shoals, Arkansas. Gosh, he looks like he's
22 years old, which he was.
Right. That's a good point.
Made his debut that year. Take you to the St. Lawrence River. The very next year, 2013, the only angler to really go down and score on Lake Ontario from the St. Lawrence River.
One similarity in all of his victories from there. We moved on from Lake Ontario. He made massive runs every day of that event. Down to Texas after that one. Catching giant bass, Sam Rayburn, Texas, and here's the amazing thing. Every time Brandon Palaniuk has won, it's been an offshore gig, just like it is here on Lake Champlain.
Good point right there, Zeke. Man, oh man, he is in his element today, that is for sure.
That's the
That
year
also
he
led him to a Angler of the Year
Angler of
title
the Year
as well.
that season, exactly.
2017.
holds the record of having the worst finish and still winning the title. He was 105th at Okeechobee.
We've had a pretty incredible day. Like, I don't know if we got it enough to win, but we have just absolutely caught them today. Oh my gosh, that one's, I think it might be even bigger. It is insane. I can't help but laugh. It is insane. Oh my gosh, I'm literally just looking at my Mega 360 on this flat going from boulder to boulder, and they're just all big ones. Stay on there. You just can't help but smile at that. Oh, like right there, I was getting ready to reel up to drop on some more that I saw, and he bit it. Come on, stay on. Stay on, stay on. Stay on there. Oh gosh. Stay on there, stay on there. Stay on there. Don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. Stay down, stay down, stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Stay down. Oh, gosh. Oh, I got cottonmouth. Literally feel like I'm in my wrestling days. Oh, my gosh. Stay on there. Gosh, I'm so nervous. Usually I'm not this nervous. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, it's just such a big one. Oh my gosh. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're getting close. You're getting close. Come on. Just peeling sideways. Come on. Turn your head. Turn your head. Gosh, that's a big one. That is a big one. Come here. Oh my gosh, he's got a big old fat belly. No! No, come here, come here, come here, come here. Get in here. Yes! Woo!
Oh my God.
Dude, look at the eyeballs on that thing. His eyeballs are popping out. He had it choked. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. Dude, what is happening right now? What is happening? The last 45 minutes have been insane. Surely that one is easy enough to look at and know he's bigger. Yeah, there's no doubt in that one. Oh, come on with it. Oh. Dude, that was insane. Just insane.
Now these guys are basically, there is a strip of land that divides New York and Vermont. It is pouring straight west of where Brandon Polinick is on David Mullins right here.
Oh boy, that's kind of a metaphor for what's been going on.
That is a good point.
This hour. Giants.
Giants.
Polinick. God, no way he doesn't have 20 pounds.
No.
Right?
No,
absolutely not.
He already has the biggest bag. I literally has to have 22 plus.
Got it crossways and everyone's jumping.
But I want you to look how that fish is built right there compared to what Brandon Polinick is catching in the inland sea. That fish is really long and lean, and it doesn't have basically that thick back, that thick belly.
It's a pretty one. Not near the size of the others.
Basically just putting ice in, make them comfortable, lower the water temp in that live well.
temps, more oxygen.
Yep. Here's what's weird for somebody that's watching this at home. We did a early show when these guys basically got on the water at 8 o'clock Eastern. Brandon Polinick's been fishing that area all day long, and then there was a lull. It was very rough there this morning, 2 to 3 foot waves. We saw that front pass. It got calmer, and I am telling you, the mother lode of smallmouth set up on those isolated boulders. It's not like they were there from the he caught them this morning.
Start, yeah.
But taking a look at our TH Marine weather watch right now, got rain southeast at 10, which is a lot lighter than it was predicted today.
To go over 20.
Yes.
Looks like the precip is moving out of the area as well, so it's a better weather outlook than what we started with today. Although you wouldn't know it to look at Kobe Krieger and David Mullins right now. They're getting a little wet, but no bad violent weather or anything like that.
Brandon Polinick is administering a beatdown right now.
One thing that you can say is that this morning the wind was starting to happen. It started to get rough, and then it slicked off oddly for a good hour and a half of the day, and it's remained that way.
Yes, get off of there.
Did it allow those guys to get on their stuff much better than this morning when they're trying to show up in position?
Polinick's been in that area outside of Lappin's Bay.
Well, that's aggravating right there.
All day long, and has made the comment he was going to leave about 3 hours ago, and it just got better.
That fish, he entered as a 4-6 on Bass Track for 19 pounds 12 ounces today, and the lead with 78 pounds 7 ounces.
Wow. And we believe that's very light.
Yes.
Those
3
are
ounces
unofficial
ahead
weights.
of Seth Feider, who held the lead for 4 hours this morning, lost it to Hartman for a half hour, and then regained it right about the time we came on today.
But look at those weights.
Whew.
Mullins' last fish put him 1 pound out of the lead.
Oh, Lord.
Well, Brandon Polinick, you said it, Mark Zona. He is administering a beatdown to the rest of this tightly grouped field, especially tightly grouped at the top of the leaderboard. Has one loss, but boy, what he has brought in is what has impressed completely. Brandon Polinick, very at home, very much doing what he does best. Brandon Polinick unlocking this thing.
There we go.
One of the hardest things that we do in the sport is the what ifs, right? And they can tear you up and they can wreck your whole career if you let them. That's always going through your head, you know, when you're that close, when you have a 4th or a 2nd place finish, and it can literally be one bite away from a win. It's easy to get caught up in that, and for me, it's, you know, I can't control those things. All I can do is, you know, make the adjustments that I knew or felt like were right decisions at the time, and go from there. It's definitely bigger than that one.
Dialing up the combination to unlock this formerly deadlocked leaderboard right now. The former amateur champion of the United States, as far as the Bass Nation goes, Brandon Polinick, that's where he got his start out of Idaho, looking for his 4th victory with the Bassmaster Elite Series. 4 is a pretty impressive number for a fella his age.
I thought last week on Lake Ontario was an incredible event. This has been unbelievable on Lake Champlain.
Boy, we are so lucky to get to see all of this go down. We've had a little bit of everything, and all of it good today on Lake Champlain.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
You don't know their names yet,
but you will.
When I'm on the road for work or for fun, I always like to have a reliable generator around. This open frame inverter from Champion is ideal because it's lighter than a standard open frame generator and more affordable than a traditional inverter. The remote start helps me start up the generator or shut it off without having to leave my camper. It provides essential power for things like charging my boat batteries, also makes life a lot more comfortable for myself and my family.
It's been said that a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work. Getting you to that fishing spot is key, and Bully Dog gets your truck road ready. No matter where, we give you the horsepower and towing torque right when you need it. We make getting there better. Make your ride a Bully Dog.
Groundbreaking designs, unsurpassed quality, and unshakable confidence. Welcome to the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series. Leading the industry for over 50 years, these rigs are custom crafted and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver the ultimate ownership experience. The legendary Ranger Z series. Unleash next level performance. Mercury, go boldly.
You're watching the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Tonight, we'll cap off the first Red Sox-Yankees series of this season at the stadium. The rivalry never gets old. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. We had just, as what's got to rank as one of the top 3 single hours of eye-popping action we've ever had on Bassmaster Live. Things are changing out there, and they will change undoubtedly more before we get to the weigh-in, Ronnie.
You couldn't have said it better, Tommy. It has literally been the best hour of Bass Live we've had the 2020 season. I know I'm going to tune in for the final weigh-in to see actually what happens because they are unofficial weights. These are unofficial. We've seen Polinick, Fighter, Hartman, and Mullins all catch big ones in the last 30 minutes. It's going to be tight at that weigh-in process. Dave Mercer's going to explain how it all goes down. All the fish you've seen caught will be transported back into Lake Champlain and released to swim and eat another day.
Man, oh man, what we have seen. We can't stay off this guy. He's just moving too fast.
Yes! Yes! Look how thick that. You're fatter fish. Oh,
taking a look at Brandon Polinick's flurry that he went on in the Inland Sea.
Oh! Dude, it just came. No, it's in the mouth.
Lost a couple fish, but here's what's been really strange about it. It's like the more he's pressed this school that's moved in to this area,
I'm talking about.
It's like they've gotten bigger.
How tall their dorsal fins are and how big their tails are. It's because they're chasing. No! No, come here, come here, come here, come here. Get in here. Yes! Woo!
He's made those his 3 big calls in the last 50 minutes.
When it's all said and done, that flurry of action has him in the top spot, close to that 21-pound mark at least on Bass Track, at nearing the 80-pound mark for 4 days.
Should we just get back out with Brandon Polinick? He is not done.
Might as well.
Humming music. Embarrass myself. Humming music. Oh. I pulled up on this spot. I've got one. I mean, I've got a bunch of waypoints on it, but I've got one big giant boulder on it that I was coming to fish. And as we sat down, like I was stopped ways before it. I was going to work my way to it. And as we shut down, I see one on the graph pitch out there, catch it. It's a giant one. And then I get up to the boulder, and they're like stacked on top of the boulder. Catch a couple more big ones. And I've literally just went around this little flat, this deep flat. It's in like 28 to 32 foot. And I'm looking at the boulders on my Mega 360. Part of the time I can see the fish actually sitting on the boulders.
And then the other times I either mark it or I just angle to it, and then one shows up and I drop on and catch it. Like it's been so crazy since we showed up here. Like just one of those incredible timing deals that happen. Like I'm pretty sure I'm looking at 2 big ones right here.
Brandon had to fish his way into the top 10 yesterday.
I think I missed
You
that
hear
one.
what he's doing right there. He has a Mega 360, and basically that's an underwater picture of those boulders in front and behind your boat.
So I took some time, I retied all my stuff, and now we're just now kind of getting back up on it where it starts to change. You can come up here and try to show them if you want.
Well, he was bringing the goods.
Take a look at his, yeah, go ahead, Z.
Taking a look at map of all of Brandon Polinick's catches. He caught one fish on the New York side. That's called the gut right there. And that gut basically divides the New York water from the Vermont side of Lake Champlain, and our Yamaha unlocked the lake. And right outside of Lappin's Bay, I believe that's Butler Island. I could check that. But a lot of history around this island. The Bassmasters many years ago, back when it was the Bassmaster Top 150. And he said he has a lot of waypoints, a lot of exact spots, whether it's rubble, broken rock, or giant boulders. At the bottom of your screen is the very deep water of the inland sea. And a lot of times that's what feeds these spots. And that was in the 20 years of tournament coverage that we have done together, that was an absolutely incredible hour to call right there.
You got enough cord?
It looks like Polinick is near Berlin Island, which is right
Burton
south
Island. Burton Island.
Here's
St.
the
Albans.
Mega
Yes, Burton
360. I'll quit moving here so it clears up a little bit. But all these spots are all the boulders. So you can see like boulder, 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 boulder. And it's all like black over here and black over there. We're kind of on the end of this hard point. This is where it gets a little bit harder and where all the rock is. And I'm literally just zigzagging back and forth on this flat. You can see where my purple icon on it is. It says Big Boulder. And that's where most of them have been, but a lot of the biggest ones we've caught on this flat lately have been just kind of solo fish that have been sitting on their own boulder. Just kind of mixing it up. So we're out here right now a little further than I've even came out. We haven't got out this far yet. So we're gonna kind of slide back up on here.
Man.
Polinick's doing what Jamie Hartman is assuming he's doing right now. As an angler in this position on this day, you assume that everyone else is whaling on him.
Yes.
I don't know if he knows to the extent that Polinick has been whaling on him.
What's scary is yesterday he thought the same thing. He thought he wasn't going to have the lead, thought he wasn't doing what he needed to do, and he still had the lead. Today, if he, for some reason, thinks that, he'll get beat.
Jamie Hartman again, the New York native, trying to pick up his third Bassmaster Elite Series victory here. Won 2 last year. One in New York once too. Oh, it is pounding down on Kobe Krieger.
And the really, really strange thing is you see that flurry that Polinick went on, and he was at our takeoff this morning before the anglers went out. I was listening to him closely. He was very, very confident in what he was set out to do today. And he had a two-prong game plan. He was going to fish deep for about the first 3 or 4 hours, then go up a little shallower and look for 1 megabite, 1 giant cull. And that, obviously, that game plan is out the window. Man.
Still time left for Jamie Hartman. Third place, you see where he sits right now. And of course, again, he's trying to win this thing wire to wire, an exceptionally hard thing to do. Out here with this crew, you got to fish against.
From Newport, New York, Jamie the Hammer Hartman. Trying to go wire to wire, a very rare occurrence on the Bassmaster Elite Series.
That's a good one.
And oh man, he's got time. He's got time.
We still got guys that are 1 bite from hey, making another swing here.
Who's to say we couldn't see another flurry by a different angler? Brandon Polinick, though, has gotten his work done for today, and he's not finished yet. Just bear that in the back of your mind right now. Fighter, Hartman, Mullins, all in this thing right now, and we've got 2 hours left of fishing to go for you here. A lot can happen in 2 hours. Please don't go away. Stay with us on Bassmaster Live.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Your time on the water is precious. You return season after season to make unforgettable memories. Fight a few fish, reconnect with friends, and recenter yourself. If you count on having this time, you need an outboard you can count on to power it. That's why boaters stay with Yamaha for the long run, for life. They know reliability starts here.
At Mercury, we invested thousands of hours of engineering manpower so you can enjoy hours and hours of untapped horsepower. Introducing the all-new V6 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly. At Mercury, there are no limits to what we'll do to make sure you have no limits either. Introducing the all-new V8 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly.
You're watching the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Not just a great afternoon, an exceptional afternoon here on Lake Champlain. We are still a long way. It's a little over an hour and a half from the weigh-in, I should say.
No point in even showing the leaderboard right now, Tommy, because it has changed every single second we've blinked.
Yeah. By the time we show it to you,
it's going to change.
It's out of date.
So we might as well just take you out to the guys.
We're going to get it back in the mix nonetheless, and we get closer and closer. It's not all official until we finish that weigh-in, which starts at 3 o'clock.
You know, with Seth Fighter right now trying to reconnect with his friends.
What?
I know.
Hold on.
It's near the end. We're trying to land this plane.
Yeah. We haven't even got on the approach yet. You can see now the leaderboard, pal.
What is that?
jumping out to a lead. Very, very tight race. Very tight race, especially on this final day at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, we've just narrowed it down to a couple of airports.
It's well said, Such. Yeah. Taking a look at Seth Feider right here, who had the lead for a couple hours, hooked up.
You come on?
Nope, he did not come off.
Absolutely not going to help Seth Feider, who's going to need a call or two.
Seen something swirl there, threw at it, caught it.
It's been a long time.
Look, that is a great look at what Brandon Polinick is staring at on his Mega 360, able to see each one of those individual boulders. And I've done this with him. He is far superior with electronics than the majority of this field.
We probably need to tell our new viewers, these guys, the lake is off limits for a month before they come to practice for 3 days, and they may be familiar with the lake, but tell them how they develop a plan. What do they go about doing on those 3 days of practice to figure out what they want to fish this week?
Well, here it's a little bit different than a lot of places that we go to throughout the country. Number one, you're picking a species to revolve your tournament around. You go smallmouth. Historically, largemouth are a big player. When we're in higher water conditions, which we're not this time around, we haven't even talked about that today. It's been so exhausting. Where the lake's as low as it's been in decades. And on a lake like Lake Champlain, you want to have a core area. You don't want to have fish down at Ticonderoga 70 miles south, then fish 20 miles north.
Can't do it.
You want to have a core area that you can work around. Because generally, Mother Nature doesn't let you get around on this lake. The other side of that is, and you cannot stress this enough, if you go off the history of smallmouth bass on Lake Champlain, the inland sea where Brandon Polinick is, especially when you're fishing deeper, they're more plentiful. And the other side is they're just built differently. It was like that last year. It was like that 25 years ago. They're built differently. The thing is, when you kick Major League Baseball music off, is what ends up happening. Those fish get offshore quicker. There's deeper water available than there is, say, up on that Rouse's Point flat. But those fish get out there after they spawn, and they eat, and they gain weight faster. And you could tell that by every bass, really, that we've seen caught offshore in the inland sea. Not just by Brandon Polinick, but other anglers that we've covered. They're built better.
So in practice, these guys find 5, 10 viable spots that they map out in their plans ahead of time. They know where the bigger fish are, what they're going to do, how they're going to approach catching them.
And generally, like I said, you want those areas around each other so you are not driving your boat all day.
These three guys, I'm not even going to pick somebody that could possibly win this out of those three because it's so close.
Woo.
The only way we'll decide is make it official at the weigh-in today. Dave Mercer will have each guy up. They'll talk about how they caught him this week. They'll make it official, put them on the scales, and at the end of the tournament, 2 anglers will stand beside each other and one will be crowned champion. Once they do, all those fish that they've caught today will be released back into Lake Champlain to live another day. And someone will walk away with $100,000, a big old trophy on their mantle. For one of these 3 guys, it'll be their 3rd or 4th event win with Bassmaster.
Yeah, you get on the internet, go to Bassmaster.com and catch that. Just what Ronnie was talking about.
Be Polinick's 4th elite win, Hartman's 3rd elite win, or Feider's first full field elite win. He's won 2 of our 50-person field events, but these guys are decorated and they know how to close it on the final day.
Absolutely.
Finally got ourselves back up where we've been catching them. I'm seeing a few fish, but they're not as active as they were. Like, I think we literally just hit the timing perfect, but every day, like around 1:30, 2 o'clock, probably closer to 2, seems like I've had a bite window where I've caught big ones. And I'm hoping we're starting to creep up on that now. I'm hoping that's going to be the case today.
The other thing
I feel like I need 2 more bites. I just feel like I need 2 more big bites.
The other thing about the inland sea we have not talked about today, we talked about a little bit on day one, there is a massive amount of current in this lake. Flows from south to north up into the St. Lawrence River when it exits Lake Champlain, and a lot of times those current shifts on this lake will ignite what we got to see. This is no joke. Somebody in our field said to me on the phone the other day, we had a south wind that was going with the current, and the angler said, man, I just didn't like that south wind. It was pushing against the current. I said, no, it actually goes from south to north. He goes, man, then it really needs to turn and slow that current.
Just barely missed it, just by 180 degrees. That was close. That was close.
It's like a chess match out here between us and the fish.
But I really think a lot of the fish that Polinick is catching and a lot of the other anglers that fish near the deep water basin of the inland sea, I think a lot of those bass spend the majority of their life suspended, chasing bait, chasing alewife, any of those offshore bait fish. And areas like this is where they stop, settle, and then suspend again, because they're not on these spots every single day.
Importance of timing. Polinick just mentioned that. I think he got it right there for a magic hour.
Yes.
2 fish. Sometimes the fish, they'll get together and it looks like a really big arch. Because normally I would say that's too big, like that would be a drum or something. But it looks like there's, like right at the beginning of it, it looked like I could see separation where there's 2. And if that was the case, they'd both be big smallmouth. Look, it's so nice we got people inner tubing now. It was not the weather that we were supposed to have today.
It's a good point right there, and
yes.
it opens up an opportunity for someone who would try to run down Brandon Polinick. We were thinking people were going to have trouble moving around, making moves, getting from one place to another, which is part of a game plan for a lot of these guys. They got no problem getting around this afternoon.
There was 2 to 3 footers and building on Polinick and Jamie Hartman, especially where Polinick is at early this morning, and we thought, well, here we go. It's going to be a clone of last week on Lake Ontario, and then it just, poof.
That front and storm that went through seemed to knock it back down, and it still predicted it on the weatherchannel.com, but it's not happening out there. They've actually backed up the wind speed.
It's fun watching Brandon Polinick. A lot of history in that side of the inland sea. Back in the old school Bassmaster days, Mike Iaconelli actually caught a lot of shallow fish around the corner of one of those islands in one of those events, one of those really heavyweight events when really the country learned about this lake in that tournament.
Been a while since we've checked in with Corey Johnston. Corey's had a little bit rougher go of it today.
Yes.
Second week in a row for him to make the top 10, though. He's in a great New York swing, but today has been a bit problematic. He's got 5 small ones.
Bittersweet that his brother won last week. He wanted to be the first.
It's been a rough day for me. Day 4 seen him kill me. It'd be nice if I could have a good day every once in a while, but just lost a few good ones today, and this morning my best spot fish just weren't there. We're gonna hit it the last half hour and see what happens, but I don't have a lot of hope in it. So right now I'm just kind of looking out deep here and seeing what we can come up with. You never know with this place. You can pull up to a spot and catch 5 giants real quick. So we're gonna keep at her here and see what happens.
A little bit down in the mouth.
A little bit. It's hard to go from Polinick's boat to Corey's boat.
It's a contrast. For
Corey's
sure.
had a couple rough championship Sundays the last couple weeks. Good tournaments, though. It just seems like he's some way, shape, or form in a hodgepodge manner drummed up over 20 pounds every day. Not the case here on Lake Champlain.
You look for him to, again, probably make the top 10. A good chance of it next time we convene, which will be at Lake St. Clair.
Yes.
Right across from Canada.
And he genuinely gets upset catching anything less than a 4-pound smallmouth. Like he shames the smallmouth.
Got some first-time fans watching Bassmaster on ESPN2 live the last few weeks, and one of them tweeted today, evidently you can have a shootout in fishing competition. The announcers were really getting into it. I left ESPN2 on, and I'm going to watch it the rest of the day.
My man.
Literally, it is years and years of work and skill for these anglers to get good enough to even qualify for the Bassmaster Elite Series. And then when they're there, they're on a 107-mile-long lake that is deep as 300 feet deep in places. And their hoop, their home run wall moves. It's the fish. They change. They move. Weather comes in. It's a public arena. We talked about it yesterday, Tommy. Guys pulling in their area fishing, boats running around. Is like if you ran out on the 5th green and started putting with a PGA Tour Pro.
Nothing you could do about it if it was out here.
It is a public sport, and these guys are the best in the world, and they're proving it. This last hour has been a dream-making moment for one of these guys.
Well said, Ron. Extraordinary. Extraordinary. Well, that's what we're looking at, and we got, thankfully, some more of it yet to come. About an hour and a half's worth left to come. The fishing on this final day as we get closer and closer to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Brandon Polinick on an amazing run since we came on the air at noon here on ESPN2, and we'll have plenty more to come. Seth Feider, Hartman, Mullins all got a shot. Take a break and be right back.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats. Groundbreaking designs, unsurpassed quality, and unshakable confidence. Welcome to the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series. Leading the industry for over 50 years, these rigs are custom crafted and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver the ultimate ownership experience. The legendary Ranger Z series. Unleash next level performance. Mercury, go boldly.
Son gets it done. Jordan Lee, back-to-back domination, unbelievable.
For over 70 years and 19 consecutive NMMA Consumer Satisfaction Awards, Skeeter continues to set the standard. And now, through October 19th, you can fall into savings with rebates of up to $1,500 on the FXR Limited, up to $2,500 on the FXR Apex, and double rebates of up to $3,000 on the ZX250. Fall into savings now through October 19th. Visit your local dealer or SkeeterBoats.com and fall into savings on the Skeeter boat of your dreams. The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is brought to you by Humminbird, Mercury, Minn Kota, and by Talon.
Beautiful shot of Plattsburgh, New York. You just saw there. That's our headquarters, our fantastic host city. Couldn't ask for a better place to stage a tournament on one of the premier bass fishing lakes in the world. No doubt about that. Lake Champlain in its 2020 Bassmaster Elite, and we've come down to the final day, championship day. Final hour and a half of fishing for these 10 anglers who have worked so hard to get here and get such tough competition. They didn't have to worry about the weather too much on day one and day two. We're worried about it today, but it's turned out to be not as bad as expected, not as bad at all. Lots of amazing opportunities for these anglers. Seth Feider did not have the lead when we started today. He was off to the quickest start this morning.
No doubt about it. Seth Feider's going to have to make, he's done his job, no doubt about it today. He's going to have to make a call here soon.
About an hour and a half to go. How do we feel about this?
Pretty good. Got a couple of really big smallies already. I got one or two I'd really like to call. They're still decent fish. They're like 3 1/4, but I think if I can get one more 4-pounder, that'll put me at 20 pounds and give me a real good chance to win. So the days went better than I could expect, though. I mean, I caught 2 smallies bigger than anything I've seen where I've been fishing. So just kind of need one more of those decent fish. I don't think we need a super magnum, but a couple 3 3/4 or a 4 might be enough to seal it.
Seth caught the big tanker of the tournament on day number 2. That was a
He did.
largemouth that really is still helping him today. I mean, it's still a big part of his 20 fish he's caught in this
He
tournament.
has rode that bass.
Oh, yeah.
Wind's starting to get up a little bit more now out of the south.
Maybe saying goodbye to most of that rain. The wind you can't really stop, but it certainly has laid down for us here. Still allowing these guys to pretty much go and do what they want to do.
This could be a very critical bass if Jamie Hartman's able to call.
Guess he ain't done. Not even that big. Come on. It's on my wrong dang side because the current's going the other way.
It's got to be 3 pounds, 4 ounces.
That's what I got.
Let's say it is. Not by a lot.
I think he wanted it. As I was fighting it, I was marking fish everywhere.
Heard Jamie Hartman make the comment right there that he was marking a lot of fish. That, if you don't follow the Bassmasters, these guys are not flailing around and just, hey, maybe I'm going to get lucky and get a nibble, right? These guys are throwing at very isolated objects, single boulders.
No help.
Wow. Didn't do it.
Nope. Beautiful fish. No help.
Every cast these guys are making, it is at a specific target, and there's not a wasted cast. Such, go ahead.
We saw Palnick's radar screen there where he showed us the boulders, but there's even specific spots on that boulder where the fish are going to be that he's got to hit, right?
Right, and there are a lot of these fish, they're individually marking, they are individual bass that when they drop over the side, they're seeing those fish on their depth finders.
Now, it became hunting at that point.
Yes.
When you were looking at one on your graph in 25 feet of water, doing it hunting.
Jamie Hartman is used to winning. He knows how to get the job done. He proved it not once, but twice during the 2019 season of the Bassmaster Elite Series, getting to work early on the final day, coming from way off the pace to win at Lake Guntersville in Alabama.
Really landed on the mother lode that final championship Sunday. And I mean giant largemouth bass for Jamie Hartman, winning on Guntersville, and a storm hit it that way in that the likes of we have not seen before.
Certainly not today.
We went up to Cayuga Lake, one of the Finger Lakes in New York. Jamie Hartman, you could say a bit of a home field advantage growing up right down the road in Syracuse.
Big win, very popular with the New York fans, and there are legions of New York bass fishing fans.
There are.
For sure, one of the biggest bass fishing states in this here US of A. Jamie Hartman, we've been in the boat with him all day, all 3 days, all the first 3 days, telling us everything that's on his mind. Today, his head has been down. We haven't gotten 3 sentences out of this guy today.
Vault.
Yep. Locked up.
Sideways. Freaking sideways. Why is it sitting sideways?
He's just not been comfortable today.
Did I do something wrong here? Dude, this is freaking pathetic. I swear to God. This is absolutely pathetic. Ever since I tied this thing on, I'll cut it. I'll just cut it off.
Had a lot of distractions to deal with yesterday, some places that really didn't pan out. I think he's still a little bit reeling from
Chippy.
that. Yeah,
Yes.
still just a little on edge from all of that.
Yes. Mechanical issues. Still not the best of spirits.
No, not as sparkling as his usual self is. We're used to that.
I made the comment earlier. He really is like a defensive line coach that looks like he's just about ready to really light you up.
You're about to be running the rest of practice.
Yeah, that's right.
And the furrowed brow of John Gruden in his weigh-in picture today.
Okay. Brandon Polinick, man, getting the work done early in this afternoon session to put himself on top. Can anyone unseat him? Well, we got another hour plus to find out.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
This reel allows you to cover more water, make more casts, giving you more opportunities to catch more fish. The new Revo Rocket, Abu Garcia for life.
It's been said that a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work. Getting you to that fishing spot is key. And Bully Dog gets your truck road ready. No matter where, we give you the horsepower and towing torque right when you need it. We make getting there better. Make your ride a Bully Dog.
Introducing the Bass-U TV app. Get the most out of your Bass-U TV subscription and learn on the go with the Bass-U TV app. Unlimited access to 700 plus training videos. Multiple new releases each week, including seminars, on-water videos, live shows, interviews, and other original content. The Bass-U TV app. Never stop learning.
I'm pro angler Andy Montgomery. I've been making my living with Strike King products for a long time. So when they showed me the new Tour Grade line, I was all in. I knew I could trust it. What I didn't know was how easy it was to use. With the spooling tool and the prepaid envelope to recycle your old line included in every single box. Not only is it the best line on the market, it gives you the easiest fishing experience possible. Find out more at StrikeKing.com.
You're watching the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Today on ABC and the ESPN app, we'll have 2 more NBA games for you from the bubble at Disney. Trailblazers Celtics is at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. And in our primetime game, it's Giannis and the Bucks taking on James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and the Rockets. Special NBA countdown gets you hyped, set, ready to go at 8 Eastern time.
Good to have NBA back.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay. Major League Baseball. Got a little game going right here, friend.
Oh, my goodness. Brandon Polinick, first hour of this afternoon session, boy, he lit it up out there. And they have put down something that's going to be hard for these guys to overcome. And we're about to get to that point where we stop saying, oh, there's plenty of time.
Yeah, we're not there anymore.
We start saying time is running out, especially if your plan to catch up and win involves making moves to places that are just not right next to each other. That kind of time running out quickly.
Why don't we slide into the inland sea right now with Taku Ito, rookie on the Bassmaster Elite Series, coming off of a top 10 last week on the St. Lawrence River. Rough morning for Taku.
All the way from Japan. Yes. Good one.
We were in Taku Ito's boat this morning. Lost a lot of fish this morning.
Okay.
He's 33 and he learned of Bassmaster competition when he was 10 years old. He was fishing with his father on the bank. He lived outside of Tokyo. And he wanted to be a Bassmaster ever since learning that when he was 10 years old. And they started fishing tournaments over there. And
well, he's become an accomplished angler, I can tell you that.
following in the footsteps of a lot of great Japanese anglers.
He is number 5, 5th place on the Bassmaster. Angler of the Year points race right now. Very successful opening year of the Bassmaster Elite Series.
He will get tested this fall.
Halfway through the season.
Yes, he will get very tested this fall. Those are going to be some grinder events when we start heading down south, the southeast, all the way back to Texas to end our season. Big Bass Factory, Lake Fork.
Oh, win the ball.
think our wind could be back for good now, though. That little timeout we had was that storm pushing out from this morning.
For perspective, why they're not just getting him in the boat in 15 seconds. This guy's been fishing 30 to 35 feet of water on isolated rocks, like you were saying. Z, seeing him on his electronics, picking off specific fish off of these boulders.
Yes.
And it takes a little while. Not only are they strong, you're using much lighter line, which is common up in deep, clear water in New York. Got to be patient. You don't want to break them off because there are rocks, there are shells down there that will cut your line.
You know, something that we haven't talked about really from the New York side of Lake Champlain up near the Rouse's Point area where we've had a lot of our guys in the top 10, it's virtually almost been a split of our top 10 anglers. Half of them, I would say, committed to the inland sea on the Vermont side, and the other half were on that New York side where traditionally we have them a little bit more spread out. A lot of times you get... Uh-oh.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes, maybe 2 pounder. But very important for me.
Yes, indeed. He's fallen from 8th to 10th, so he hasn't lost many
10.5
points.
maybe.
This fish will help him maybe move up some places.
It's been really surprising on this final day, though. Not a lot of guys targeting maybe 1 or 2 bigger largemouth bites that we kind of thought we might see on Championship Sunday, especially with the cloud cover and the fronts passing.
We talked about Taku Ito occupying the 5th spot on the Bassmaster Angler of the Year points. Look at his standings in the Rookie of the Year. Buddy Gross, the only man with more points than him. Taku Ito certainly will depends, as you say, on the second half of his season. How it goes for him, that's the unknown so far. We know Buddy Gross is going to probably do pretty well, so that's going to be possibly a good showdown there near the end of the season for Rookie of the Year, Angler of the Year. Well, after the first day here, it became Jamie Hartman. He was the man. Buddy Gross close behind him in that one as well. So we got a couple of rookies overachieving, to say the least, here in both of our points races. There's your points leader right there, Jamie Hartman. No points he could gain today. Started in the top spot.
Legitimately
the tournament.
Have 4 anglers. 1 swing of the bat can win this tournament in the last hour of competition. Very rare.
And this isn't a one-day tournament where everyone started at 0 and all of a sudden you're trying to go to the final day. This is 4 days of accumulating weight, 5 fish maximum per day, 20 fish total. So your possibilities are constrained to just those parameters. And for them to be within a 2.5 pounder, which is a small fish here, for them to be within just that small margin for half the whole top 10 is incredible.
The hard thing on Champlain, if you've never been here, even if you're a hardcore tournament angler, you haven't been here. Boy, when you approach that 18-pound range for 5, it is so hard to upgrade.
Spooked them all off.
You got to find 1 fish in 100
yes,
to really make a meaningful upgrade.
Absolutely.
That's why you see guys like David Mullins take it so hard when they lose those fish, because they've worked so hard all week to hone in and dial in, audible, change their game plans, weather changes, and then you're right there.
And you don't, there's other places that we go to where you could recover at times from a lost 3 to 5 pound bite, where you can make a swing and get that back. You don't get that back on this lake when you lose a 5 pound bass.
And he's lost 2 of them today.
He's lost a lot this whole week.
Oh, we just found the school of them.
We're about to bust out of here.
Hooked up again.
Hey, we just found the school of them.
Wow.
Oh, gosh. I didn't see how big it was. Gosh, stay on there. Stay on there. Oh, gosh, I think it'll help. Oh, my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Look at that thing. Oh, my gosh. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, I got my hands on you. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Look how that will build.
Biggest bag of the tournament.
Your prediction seemed bold an hour ago. Not so bold
Not
sounding
even
now.
close.
Surely that'll help.
He's going to lap the biggest bag of 22. Promise. That Bass Trek unofficial weight right there.
That is
It's very unofficial.
as big around as it is. That's a good call, actually.
That's closer. That might be one of his biggest fish of the day. That one he just put in the live well.
Unbelievable.
Oh, that one's definitely bigger. Literally the next stop. Nope. Nope. Finally, we're able to tell without freaking. That's what we needed. That was literally the call we needed. That was a huge upgrade. Oh, man.
Biggest bag of the tournament.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Next one's going to be tough to tell. Gosh. Oh. Okay. I get it set back up.
Need to look at that bait. X-Zone Finesse Slammer.
So here is what I'm throwing. This has been the key all day. Loaded what I've caught every one of them on. Green Pumpkin Blue, X-Zone Finesse Slammer in their Pro Series, Smallmouth Assassin. That's what I like to call it. And then I'm just taking it, got this real small little hook. They want a real finesse presentation this week. And I'm going in about halfway, making sure it's super straight, and then going right out the nose, just like that. That gives you the most action in your bait. And then our leader, down to little 3/8 ounce BMC drop shot weight, 8-pound Tatsu Fluoro, Seagar Smackdown braid to an Exist 3000, and the Alpha Angler DSR, stands for drop shot rod. So that has been the ticket. Let's get another one because they're swimming all over the boat right now.
Boy, he just made the mountain a little taller for anyone who wants to join the battle and take it all the way to the very end with Brandon Polinick. That was Skeeter Boats Taste the Bait, and a good one too. Very informative on the bait of the hour for sure.
Just made the comment how hard it is to call a fish the size that he just called. It has been a beat down by Brandon Polinick.
So close to start the day, and we said anyone, the angler who has his best day of the tournament today, very likely be the one to hoist the trophy.
Exactly right. Seth Fighter, actually, who was in the lead a little bit, made the comment, whoever has the biggest stringer today, even though we add up all 4 days, will win this event. That's been incredible.
He just look at that thing.
When it's your time, it's your time. When those 20-foot putts drop and they're not supposed to, that's when you know it's your time. And when he comes in every spot he rolls up to, he catches fish like that, you know the dude's prepared all week for this moment.
He has been into a different class of smallmouth today, that is for sure.
Look at the eyeballs on that thing.
What a show. Just caught this one minutes ago.
Landing giants out there, sometimes in big waves, and he's only lost one today. That is remarkable as well. Near perfect execution for the man from Idaho. Brandon Polinick, former Bassmaster Angler of the Year, looking for his 4th win on the Bassmaster Elite Series. Fighter, Hartman, Mullins. Yeah, we better say it now. Their time is getting short. Their time is getting short. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But man, oh man, Brandon Palaniuk just made the mountain to climb a whole lot steeper. Take a break and be right back with the final hour.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
What do a taco and a taco truck have in common? Nothing. If you want to play, you need a Tacoma.
You don't know their names yet, but you will.
Pre-collision system, standard, on the 2020 Tacoma, so you can go from one epic playground to the next. If you want to play, you need a Tacoma.
It's been said that a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work. Getting you to that fishing spot is key. And Bully Dog gets your truck road ready. No matter where, we give you the horsepower and towing torque right when you need it. We make getting there better. Make your ride a Bully Dog.
If you want to know how the best anglers always seem to find fish, stay on fish, and be in the right place at the right time, don't ask them. Just look at the name on the side of their boat. The one that's built 10 million motors, shallow water anchors, and more. No angler's gonna tell you their secrets, but they don't have to, because you already know. Minn Kota, fish for more.
You're watching the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Tonight, we'll cap off the first Red Sox-Yankees series of this season at the stadium. The rivalry never gets old. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. Where the rivals have gone at it, hammer and tongs, tooth and nail today. The 10 who are left here on Championship Sunday. This Bassmaster Elite event at wonderful, incredible Lake Champlain, maybe saving its best for last. In the case of Brandon Palaniuk, you certainly have to think that is true. And now we've got less than an hour to go until weigh-in time.
And weigh-in's going to be insane. Not only are you going to have the day 3 leader, Jamie Hartman, right there. Seth Fighter has had a big flurry today. So has Brandon Palaniuk. We've watched that the last hour. And Dave Mercer will do what he does best and lead the weigh-in. We will crown a champion. You can watch it at Bassmaster.com. The weigh-in will crown a champion, Zona, and it'll be $100,000, but also a big-time trophy on their mantle, which goes a long way for legacy.
We made the comment coming in this tournament, you would need a 4-pound average, which generally is what it takes here on Lake Champlain. Brandon Palaniuk has got to that number unofficially. We can get on the water right now with Seth Fighter. Time ticking away. Needs at least one more big one to be in the game.
And it was a long time ago, but his third fish of the morning, that 4.5, helps that 4.12, that 4 3/4 that he caught just a little bit ago, makes it seem much more big to his overall total.
He cannot have a 3 1/4 pound.
He's got 2 of them in there.
He's got 2 of them.
He's got to get rid of both of them.
Seth Feider, so far this whole tournament, really he's had two drastically different approaches starting each morning of this event, fishing for smallmouth on the New York side, and then going for bigger largemouth, not as plentiful.
Oh my God.
Caught this giant.
Oh my
on
God.
Day number.
Oh my God. Oh my God, come here. Come here! Woo!
6'6".
Oh my God.
Biggest fish in the tournament.
Phoenix boats,
oh
big
my
bass
God,
of the
it's a
tournament.
6-pounder, dude. Boom!
That is a true unicorn here on Lake Champlain. Our Mercury move of the day.
Biggin.
And there could be some controversy with this right here, but Seth Feider deciding.
Oh my God.
And
I
it
knew
could
this one
end
so
up
bad.
paying
This is
off.
it, dude.
The Mercury move of the day was him not moving. Starting on the New York side of Lake Champlain up near ballpark region of Rouse's Point, fishing a massive 10 to 15 foot flat.
This is him, dude.
Carolina
This is
rigging.
freaking him.
Soft plastic craw, doing a little bit of crankbait fishing.
God.
Seth Feider connecting with a big, big Lake Champlain smallmouth right here. That is your Mercury move of the day, of the week,
I got him!
of the tournament. He looked like a gremlin right there.
Yeah, the way the
He
smile
really
was
did.
kind of devious.
This is big for Feider, not only for just wanting to win a Bassmaster Elite event, but he finished second at this very place in 2017.
That's a good
and
point.
he wants redemption. Last year, caught the biggest bass of the tournament on the final day. It was
Good
a
point.
largemouth, sunny conditions. This time, smallmouth, windy, cloudy, and he's still right there in the hunt.
You know, you look at guys like, looking at your unofficial top 10 and Brandon Polinick, Jamie Hartman, Seth Feider. These guys have won events. They're stable with sponsors, and man, you look at the what could have been factor with a David Mullins today. That's a career changer, because there are veterans that have made a living in this that have never held one of those blue
Oh, and
Bassmaster
fished 25,
trophies
30 years.
and never won.
You think of what it could have meant to a Kobe Krieger, someone like that. Just
huge.
Oh.
Well, he's got
imagine
one
how big.
open win here, but on FLW he's got 5 wins. And
The same game plan. Moving around. God, I'm so tempted to go largemouth fishing now.
There's something else with a Brandon Polinick, a Seth Feider, and I truly believe this.
All right, we'll see ya. Thank you.
They are so incredibly dialed in with their electronics. And I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but these younger anglers, really 35 years old and younger, have grown up with the technology that is in their boats. And here's the thing, and I do not want this to sound the wrong way. They are so far superior to some of the best veterans to ever play this game with their electronics. They understand them better. I've been in the boat with Brandon Polinick and watched him dial in my electronics. And I've grown up with electronics. I felt like an idiot within 10 minutes just from what that guy knows tweaking in these units.
It's a generational fact of life.
Absolutely
You know, it
it
happens
is.
in, every other aspect of life.
That's right.
The same thing is going on.
It's the same thing where back in the 90s, everyone practiced a pull-up jumper on the elbow at the free throw line in the NBA, and now Stephen Curry's pulling up from half court. That is just what people don't do that back then, so it's hard to adjust now, but the new age people are used to pulling up from there. That's the same thing with electronics.
But I will tell you, guys that still fish that are 45, 50, 55 years old, they are light years behind these younger anglers that understand how to use these electronics. light years behind them. They may tell you they're not, but they are.
Not to say feel isn't still important. It's just there's a whole nother dimension that comes into play very often.
I keep going down looking at it.
Boy, critical minutes left here for Seth Feider. And it's not like he's had a bad day. I mean, he's had an epically good day staying with that smallmouth game plan.
Well, also in our top 10, though you wouldn't know it, he's just been in a place with rough service. There's Brock Mosley, 2 top 10s in a row here in the state of New York. A great swing heading into the midway point in this season.
My day has not been real strong. I had the bites to have another 17, maybe 18. Had a couple to pull off that would have helped. I just hadn't had the quality of bites today. I really need one more 3-pounder. Oh, 1 over 3 pounds. I got one small one in the live well I need to get rid of. I caught a 5.5 here day 1 in practice. And the next cast I had another good one on and it took me behind one of them boulders and broke me off. So I know there's some good ones around here.
He has been part of the conversation through the length of this tournament, all 4 long days on Lake Champlain, and ditto for the 4 days of fishing the week before up at the St. Lawrence River.
Yes, sir.
2 solid weeks for Brock Mosley.
Got some good smallmouth here.
Got him. Stay hooked up, baby. You hadn't even.
One of the 4 guys to make both final days in New York, like we've mentioned throughout the show today. Finished 3rd last week on a notorious smallmouth fishery, fishing for largemouth. And then this week, where it's an even distribution of smallmouth and largemouth, you can win with both.
No,
he has
please,
specifically targeted just smallmouth.
Watch the camera. Got her. Yes.
Boy, being from Mississippi,
Making a
he
late
is
day
a
rally.
fantastic northern angler.
Yep.
Been on the bad side of luck all day.
You can look at this footage from earlier in this tournament and get an idea of what the weather contrast is from days 1 through 3 versus today.
Yes.
And from home, a lot of these guys enjoy going up north instead of suffering through the 100-degree heat indexes. It's 80 degrees up there now, and probably cooler with the overcast conditions.
Brock Mosley sitting there in 8th place right now as it stands. So going to be next to impossible, or pretty much impossible, for him to get to the top of that leaderboard now. We still got to race, though, the top 3 spots, but time, again, is running out. Getting closer and closer. 3 p.m. begins the weigh-in, the ultimate weigh-in in this tournament. Final reckoning with the official numbers. We got some more fishing yet to go, though, from this incredible place. Come right.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
What do a taco and a taco truck have in common? Nothing. If you want to play, you need a Tacoma.
At Mercury, we invested thousands of hours of engineering manpower so you can enjoy hours and hours of untapped horsepower. Introducing the all-new V6 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly. At Mercury, there are no limits to what we'll do to make sure you have no limits either. Introducing the all-new V8 Mercury Pro XS. Light, quick, efficient. Mercury, go boldly.
Introducing the B.A.S.S TV app. Get the most out of your B.A.S.S TV subscription and learn on the go with the B.A.S.S TV app. Unlimited access to 700 plus training videos. Multiple new releases each week, including seminars, on-water videos, live shows, interviews, and other original content. The B.A.S.S TV app. Never stop learning.
Pre-collision system, standard, on the 2020 Tacoma, so you can go from one epic playground to the next. If you want to play, you need the Tacoma.
You're watching the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Maybe from 30 minutes to 45 minutes of fishing time for these 10 anglers left on this final day championship Sunday. The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain. The time is getting tight here. The weigh-in will settle all arguments. And we have seen some incredible stretches of fishing today. A lot of it from this man right here.
I literally thought that the Lake Ontario event could not be topped, and this last day has blown it away.
Don't get us wrong, it's been fantastic all the way through, and the thing that's really been different about Lake Champlain, especially from the St. Lawrence, Lake Ontario, is the closeness to the competition, the sort of, the size of the fish is so close. I mean, all over this lake. Diverse. You have to find a special spot.
Very diverse lake, though. We said this the first day of competition. It's a lake that you can pick your poison. You can throw your fastball. If you want to fish shallow, we got to see so much good shallow water fishing. But that's really what's unique about this body of water compared to a lot of the other smallmouth bodies of water that we go to. It's almost, I hate to say it, but when we go to St. Clair, a lot of the guys are doing the exact same thing, just in different areas of the week or of the lake. That is not the case here on Champlain. You could really do a lot of different stuff and be successful at it.
Well, it's been a different year, to say the least. You can say that about every walk of life here in these United States and around the world. We have had a different sort of season that started, we keep saying, it seems so long ago.
It really does.
Back in March when we went down to Florida to kick it off, the 2020 season for the Elite Series. Man, some big ones down there on the St. John's, and the St. John's dependably reliable for big fish and lots of them. Not quite as big as the year before, but great competition in the canals down at Lake George and downstream toward Jacksonville with this man who would be the eventual winner, Paul Mueller.
Exactly right. Paul Mueller getting his second victory in 1 year's time in a tournament. Not a lot of us all the way to the last day really did not have our eyes on Paul Mueller.
Second win, second Bassmaster Elite Series win for Paul Mueller. That marks a very tough top-tier angler. All of our anglers went next to Lake Eufaula. There was a long pause in between, but boy, we were so happy to crank it up again, and so happy and surprised at how great Eufaula was.
Unbelievable tournament here on ESPN2. Scott Canterbury from Alabama, your 2019 Angler of the Year champion, had a great day, had a great final day of that event. He was just beat down by Tennessee's Buddy Gross, a rookie on the Bassmaster Elite Series, catching the biggest stringer on the final day.
Buddy Gross just joining up this year with the Bassmaster Elite Series. Most everyone had heard of Buddy. He has a good reputation as a very good angler. Man, he showed us just what he is capable of there. That was a superhuman effort on the final day.
Almost 28 pounds to get the trophy. Buddy Gross, big victory seen right here on ESPN2. And then last week, the St. Lawrence River two anglers making the big run into Lake Ontario. Paul Mueller again taking that lead into the final day, and he did his job.
Oh, absolutely. Did it all week long. Another guy trying to go wire to wire, much as Jamie Hartman this week, but here's the upsetter, the guy who tried to go wire to wire last year.
Chris Johnston from Ontario, Canada, the first ever Canadian to win a Bassmaster event. Big water and big smallmouth. Chris Johnston managed this tournament to a T. Managed his spots, took home the trophy.
Much the delight of our friend Dave Mercer, of course, from Canada, getting that first Canadian, a blue trophy. Big breakthrough. A really, really talented fisherman, Chris Johnston. There's the remainder of our schedule there. St. Clair coming up later this month. More smallmouth fishing before we turn the truck around and head down south back to Scottsboro, Alabama, and Lake Guntersville. That's the reschedule that was just rolled out this week. And then Santee Cooper, Chickamauga scheduled for the spring. Ditto for Lake Fork in the middle of the summer. They're coming up at a completely different time of the year. It's going to be an education.
Hopefully we can be here on ESPN2 for a few of those events, if not all of them, because those are big bass factories at very unusual times of year that we have not gone to in the past.
That is our Garmin Winning Ways survey of this incredible season 2020. Very different, but so many memorable moments. And now, hey, B&W Trailer Hitch is on the line. This is another favorite feature, and we got one of our favorite anglers on there. Some great, great stuff last year and especially this year from Matt Airy. Matt, you're making some miles, heading back to your home, we assume, right now, and congratulations on a great, great season so far, man. You are a big part of the points race, and in your mind, what stands out as the most memorable part of your year so far?
Well, the bad part is the most memorable part of my year is probably the worst finish I had, and that's St. Lawrence. I never really got on anything consistent there, and not making the top 40 cut, you can't do that more than once at least and win an AOI title. So I actually jump fished to 20 pounds the first day at St. Lawrence and mixed it up with largemouth and smallmouth, and I really wasn't on anything. And the second day it showed, I went out there and caught a measly 12.5 pounds and kept me from making the day 3 cut, and hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt me. We got a lot of ground. We're not even halfway through the season yet, so we just need to stay consistent, keep making cuts, and see where the chips fall.
Matt, we don't know if you've been able to watch the footage so far today, but I was watching you this week, and you committed to the inland sea where we have seen a beatdown today. Kind of dial us in. What is different about the inland sea from really the other side in New York when you get to Rouse's Point?
Well, you've echoed exactly what my thoughts were going in. Historically, I've always fished in that northern area towards Windmill Point in that area, and done consistent on smallmouth up there. And I've always dedicated my tournaments to smallmouth. I've never really gotten on a good largemouth bite that I had consistency with. I guess ideally, I probably should always try to go catch a 5 or 6 pound largemouth after getting a sack of smallmouth. But what the biggest thing that I saw, and y'all said it on live many times a day, is that the fish in the inland sea are of a different variety. They weigh more. And the fish, I went first day of practice, I spent up north and fished that whole area, and it's kind of making me sick to see how many big ones they're catching up there today. But I went through there with a jerk bait, mixed in a top water, drug a Carolina rig around, typical stuff. Caught about 16 pounds, and a lot of those fish that I caught should have been 4-pounders. They were just real long and skinny. I went to the inland sea the second day of practice, started deep dropping on them, and they were just a different caliber of fish. They all weighed 4 to 8 ounces heavier than most of the fish that were the same length from the northern part of the New York side. And I committed my tournament to basically the inland sea. The whole event I spent dropping on them in the inland sea. Opposite side of, I think, where Polinick doing most of his damage today. I guess I should have been on the other side of the islands because I was catching all 3.5, 3 3/4 pounders, and he's catching all the 4s. But he's putting on a heck of a show, and it gave me, even though I didn't make the top 10, makes me feel good to see him doing that. I was on the right deal to go the distance. I just didn't get those 4+ pound bites that you got to have.
Matt Airy, thank you so much for spending a little time with us. Congratulations on a great season, and we'll be following Matt Airy. One more crack at those smallmouth coming up later this month as we watch Jamie Hartman out there hooked up.
Nope. Not gonna help. Oh, got hit in the face with something. Let me just make sure everybody's okay. Yeah, it ain't gonna help anyway. Get out of there.
For someone who looked like they had their hands on this event at the end of day 2, a series of unfortunate events and improper timing for others to make a run has made Jamie Hartman seem like he is miles from the win, and he's still only a fish or two from it.
Sure. You know what's really strange is we got to see with Seth Feider, Jamie Hartman, who are still in contention for this thing. We've seen big culls late in the day, almost every single day, and not today for Jamie Hartman, which could end up being the deciding factor.
We've seen a couple of fish catches in Bassmaster lore that have just become iconic, where they catch it and they got to pull up the trolling motor and hit the big motor and go in.
And that will
But this is one of those tournaments, bud.
It could possibly happen, yeah.
Getting closer and closer to the time when they got to head back to the takeout, get ready for the weigh-in. We'll be ready for the weigh-ins coming up at 3 o'clock, starting right about that time. Brandon Polinick, you look at that good lead he's got right now. It doesn't look big, but out here, that is a good lead. It's going to take something dramatic from one of the other players in this top 10 to change that outcome. We'll see if that happens when we come back.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Your time on the water is precious. You return season after season to make unforgettable memories. Fight a few fish, reconnect with friends, and recenter yourself. If you count on having this time, you need an outboard you can count on to power it. That's why boaters stay with Yamaha for the long run, for life. They know reliability starts here.
Groundbreaking designs, unsurpassed quality, and unshakable confidence. Welcome to the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series. Leading the industry for over 50 years, these rigs are custom crafted and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver the ultimate ownership experience. The legendary Ranger Z series. Unleash next level performance. Mercury, go boldly.
You're watching the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Got to figure less than 30 minutes in actual fishing time left for these 10 anglers left on Championship Sunday. We get closer and closer to weigh-in time. Brandon Polinick, whether he knows it or not, he's wanting that clock to go very, very fast. He's wanting those minutes to tick by as fast as they possibly can. He probably doesn't know how everyone else, and you assume he doesn't, because generally they do not. But the weigh-in is on its way. It is looming ahead for these guys coming up, Ronnie, at 3 sharp Eastern Time.
3 Eastern Time. The guys run from their spots on Lake Champlain, head into weigh-in. They dock up their boats, bag up their fish, and take the 5 best that they have to the stage. Dave Mercer's getting prepped right there. You see the trophy, you see the stage set, and they will be there. Social distancing, of course. They're going to have their own microphones, be able to talk, and we will watch it all go down on Bassmaster.com as someone gets a $100,000 payday and a Bassmaster Elite Series trophy.
Well done, Ron Moore. Back on the water. Final minutes of fishing right now with Jamie Hartman. Needs a call like Seth Feider. Bulk of his weight this week has come really in this little 20 to 50 yard stretch on the New York side, just north of our takeoff in Plattsburgh. We have had a few viewers ask, and we talked about this actually earlier this week, you have 100 miles of water, yet guys are really only using, say, 10 miles of it. Why is that? This lake, as weird as this sounds, we spoke often about this. It's a lot like a Florida lake, a Lake Okeechobee, where when you have spawning flats, you have areas where they reproduce that has massive, massive flats, massive amounts of forage. There's just huge populations of bass year after year, decades after decades in certain parts of Lake Champlain. The inland sea, there's little pods throughout the inland sea that they live on. Windmill Point, Rouse's Point that Matt Airy was talking about, it's more consistent in those areas to where when you get south of here 5-10 miles, you don't have a lot of spawning habitat. You don't have as much forage, you don't have as much vegetation that you have on this northern end.
Yeah, big as it is, it's unlike reservoirs, man-made reservoirs that we deal with, I would say, more than 50% of the time. There are no giant tributaries, no massive creeks feeding in here. It's a different sort of setup, this natural lake.
Holy crap. Dude, he smoked it when I freaking yanked it out of there. Holy cow. I mean, I was ripping on it. When I hooked him, I was like, no way am I going to keep this fish hooked. Wow. They're fired up now. And we got to go pretty quick here. Dang it.
In on the fact that he's running out of time really fast here.
You can see right there straight above him over his left shoulder, the end of that point where those trees stop, that is the giant point. He would have to run and go around that into the wind, hook a right-hand turn, and the weigh-in will be in that next bay. So he's the closest of our 10 guys, but he doesn't want to cut it short because he has been the leader all 3 days, and he still might think he has enough to get it done today.
Quietest we have ever heard Jamie Hartman on Bassmaster Live in the history of covering Jamie, and we've covered him a lot.
Oh, we have. He kept his head down today. I mean, it's nose to the grindstone all day for him. No time for anything but just trying to will a big catch to happen for 8 hours straight.
It looks like a Seth Feider and a Brandon Polinick, the top 2 on our leaderboard, have made their way back, or at least running halfway.
We got to go.
Starting to really hit it. The wind today died down at this upper part of Champlain, but it was gusting. Those gusts you mentioned, Z, 30 miles an hour, were down in Ticonderoga, and it got lesser as we got up the lake, but they still pushed all the water.
Got a little snap in that flag there.
Back end may be a little trickier.
Yeah, it's not going to be just completely like glass. And, you know, this is the point at which we're talking about the events upcoming. We just ran that list down and everything. We do a good job of trying to promote them as we go along. We think about how we talked about this one coming in. A lot of us relying on, you know, experiences from tournaments before when largemouth played a bigger part in the scene here. Of course, the elimination of Ticonderoga, some other factors have made largemouth not as big a factor this time around.
Ticonderoga was definitely off this time around, taking a look at Lake Champlain right there. But really, to me, every time we come to Lake Champlain and largemouth play a major factor, to me it's a water level deal. Not just on Lake Champlain, but really the state of New York. When that water level is 2, 3, 4 feet higher is when the largemouth play a massive factor, and we are at potentially record lows on Lake Champlain right now.
All right, what else surprised you this time around? What was unexpected?
In all honesty, I thought that northern flat up near Rouse's Point, I really thought that was going to peter out and die by the final day, and it was a way bigger player. The Inland Sea stuff did not surprise me, but the Rouse's Point, really where guys like David Mullins, Kobe Krieger, Seth Feider, that surprised me that it held out 4 days and almost kind of potentially, if they would have landed them all, it would have grew throughout the event.
Well, it's still in all, it's been a fascinating tournament, very, very exciting, especially on this final day. And to fill us in, backfill, if you will, on more information, Screen of Knowledge, Ronnie Moore.
Where I wanted to bring it in for Rapala Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing while those guys start to make it a little closer to weigh-in on the main lake. We wanted to break down who those best competitors this week have been and who the public chose. And when we look at our top 3 on the unofficial Bass Track leaderboard, Brandon Polinick, Seth Feider, and Jamie Hartman, no doubt 3 of the most highly picked anglers. Each of these, Hartman and Polinick, over 20% of the fantasy fishing community picked them. That's a really good percentage, a consistent for a favorite, but Seth Feider was undoubtedly the most selected angler this week. 45% of fantasy fishing said, hey, I'm putting my money on him, and he has been there. These 2 guys have been on camera in the top 3 all week long for us, and we're looking at it, and they're going to end up in the top 3 or 4 at the end of the week. It's been a solid week, and I would not take your eyes off these 3 guys. As we transition over to Lake St. Clair at the end of August, I would totally expect he's a winner there. He's almost won there. And Jamie Hartman is a smallmouth wizard. He is from New York originally, lives in Arkansas now. But hey, you might as well take your fantasy team from Champlain if you did well. If you picked these guys, just copy and paste. Put it over at Lake St. Clair, and you will do just fine. It's going to be really interesting how that's the last smallmouth we will see for the 2020 season next event.
Well, barring something major happening, Seth Feider's going to be that close yet again. His brushes with greatness are, we think about where we're going next. St. Clair last year, he was on track to set the record for 4 days of fishing, averaging 25 pounds of smallmouth a day. The trouble was it was only a 3-day tournament.
He will get one of these 4-day events at some point. Seth Feider has been so close, especially on Lake Champlain, the place we're at today, this week. Finished second here in 2017 and may have a second place again this week.
And you will see some enormous stringers at that Lake St. Clair event. There was some tournaments there, some local tournaments there yesterday that they blew their doors out.
With Canada off limits, as far as we know, unless something changes.
They were caught in American waters yesterday.
American waters,
yes.
Okay.
And I mean gigantic stringers of smallmouth.
It's good news. It'd be hard to top this one that we have just witnessed over the past 4 days, though. An incredible Lake Champlain, always just a top-tier lake in anyone's estimation. And Brandon Polinick having a top-tier day, especially the second half of his day. He just landed in the right place. Get around the right ones. We always talk about that, use that phrase. Boy, he showed us just what that is all about and what happens when you can pull it off. Got some more fishing left to go. We'll be right back on Bassmaster Live.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
I'm pro angler Andy Montgomery. I've been making my living with Strike King products for a long time. So when they showed me the new Tour Grade line, I was all in. I knew I could trust it. What I didn't know was how easy it was to use. with the spooling tool and the prepaid envelope to recycle your old line included in every single box. Not only is it the best line on the market, it gives you the easiest fishing experience possible. Find out more at StrikeKing.com.
For over 70 years and 19 consecutive NMMA Consumer Satisfaction Awards, Skeeter continues to set the standard. And now, through October 19th, you can fall into savings with rebates of up to $1,500 on the FXR Limited, up to $2,500 on the FXR Apex, and double rebates of up to $3,000 on the ZX250. Fall into savings now through October 19th. Visit your local dealer or SkeeterBoats.com and fall into savings on the Skeeter boat of your dreams.
In the wild, nature dictates that when it's time to eat, animals will instinctively find and devour the meal that satisfies them most. In the water, Berkeley Powerbait's scientifically proven formula triggers the natural predatory instinct in bass. Now available in a plethora of shapes, sizes, and colors. Berkeley Powerbait. Fish bite and won't let go.
Watching the Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain, being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
Tonight, we'll cap off the first Red Sox-Yankees series of this season. At the stadium, the rivalry never gets old. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, ESPN and the ESPN app. Beautiful shot there from our host city of Plattsburgh, New York. Now all of our 10 anglers who are left on Championship Sunday, either on the run, on the move, making their way back to Plattsburgh. Be out ready to go, checked in, ready for the weigh-in starting at 3 o'clock. That is our unofficial leaderboard as it stands right now. Brandon Polinick, we know he is either on his way in or fishing very near a lot of the usual process is stop and have a few last casts before you actually check in when you've got 15, 20 minutes, 10 minutes left to go. Set fighter. Following back up, Jamie Hartman, David Mullins. Top 4 right there. All right, the guy who's going to take us through the weigh-in, the man in charge, Dave Mercer right now. Dave is ready to go.
Hey, guys, that's right here, the scene of the weigh-in. We're going to be right here in Plattsburgh, New York. It's where we have been all week long, but that's what makes this sport different, guys. You watch all day long, and those are assumed weights or guesstimates. It's not official until you officially hit the scales, the official Bassmaster scales. And obviously our weigh-in a little different with all the COVID restrictions. We're separated a little bit here, but everything is going to go down right here. And that's honestly one of the coolest things about our sport, if you ask me. It truly is the original American Idol. I mean, we're going to take 2 dudes, stand them side by side, and the world is going to watch one lose on Bassmaster.com. It truly is exhilarating. It's going to be a lot of fun, and this one is going to go down to the wire, as you guys know. And as my compadre Tripp always mentions, there could be a tie, and if there's a tie, we'll decide it. We'll figure it all out. A sudden death fish-off right out there, but it's not official until they put them on these scales.
Well, all right, Dave, we can't wait for that to happen. Dave Mercer getting cranked up. He is just about at full speed, ready to go. It won't take long for that weigh-in to go down. And we will get the final summation from all our anglers on how their week has gone, too. You always pick up some good info there and very near the weigh-in site. Right now we pick up our leader, Brandon Polinick.
Wrote a story on him before his first Bassmaster Classic in 2011 after he won the nation championship. He said, I want to win every event I compete in.
Oh, he's vocal about that.
Oh, yeah, and he doesn't when he won the ZOY, he didn't look at the points all year. Here's a great.
Started off fast for Brandon Polinick. It was all day long.
Get this party started.
Brandon Polinick with a couple bonus largemouth earlier this morning, filling out his limit. And I think it's fair to say we have a bunch of smallmouth addicts, a bunch of smallmouth heads watching this. We have him unofficially at 21 pounds and 6 ounces. Dude, he's got more than that.
Okay.
There is no doubt.
I tend to agree with you.
Yes.
on that. I'm no
22-1
pro
is
at
the
that.
big bag. 22-1 is the big bag for the tournament. Definitely has the big bag of the event.
There's no doubt. Okay. The biggest string. You asked me a minute ago, taking a look at Brandon Polinick. He went on a flurry between 12 and 130, the likes that we have not seen before on this lake or in many events that we've covered. And you asked me a second ago, what has surprised me? What has surprised me is that caliber showing up on a spot that he's throttled this spot for the last 3 days. And the biggest stringer is going to show up, and really that biggest stringer showed up when that front pushed out, when that front moved east. That wind laid down. It was gassing there this morning, and the mother load showed up on those boulders.
The very first day of this tournament, the very first day of Bassmaster Live, you told us, you said this place is different from everywhere else we go, just about everywhere else we go. Places will diminish on a pretty predictable schedule when the pressure is applied for 4 days from these guys. This place is different. It does not necessarily happen here. We may have places that do even better on the final day than they did on the first day.
In the history of I've been lucky enough to fish there for about 25 years and covered so many events with you on this lake. You think to yourself, and I hate to say it, but a lot of events, if you don't follow us on the Bassmaster Elite Series, a lot of them, the weights tend to tail off near, you get to Championship Sunday, these guys have leaned on their fish, but every time we go to Lake Champlain, it always either stays consistent or uptrends.
The smallest bag of any of our 10 competitors on the final day. To make the final day, you had to have you had to have 57 pounds. The smallest individual day bag was Corey Johnston on day one, 17.3 was the smallest bag any of our competitors have had over 3 days of competition. And then obviously we're going to see the biggest bag of the tournament is in this field, second biggest bag as well. Now we'll see the biggest
Another
bag
thing that makes this place different. Every place we go, you can survive a hiccup day. Here, you cannot survive
That's
it
a
here.
good point.
Yeah.
Looking at Seth Fighter right here. And here's the deal. As of right now, we do not have him winning this event. He did his job today. I mean, he got it done. He committed to a game plan, solely fishing for smallmouth on this final day and bypassing the largemouth that we've seen him go after days 1 through 3. And he had a phenomenal day. He just got beat. And the other thing about that, what you just said on this lake is it's one of the most fun lakes to ever go and bass fish. If you've not been up here, I know a lot of our viewers have, but it is in a tournament situation. It's a very hostile environment because you get frustrated because it's so hard to upgrade past that 18 pounds. What these guys did, they made it look easy. It is so not easy to do on this lake, especially for 4 days.
First couple of days certainly looked easy for this guy here, Jamie Hartman, but things sort of turned south a little bit yesterday. Not his fault necessarily, just a lot of things out of his control. Boy, it just slowed him down, and though brave start today, totally into it, and not bad, a good start as a matter of fact today. Just couldn't sustain the pace.
No, and it's just one of those deals where that primary area on the New York side that Jamie Hartman has, he's pressed it. He has pressed that spot every day of this tournament, and he caught decent ones there today, a really solid stringer. But I believe that spot just ran out of gas.
He's had to press it each day, like you said, and almost like an hour more every day. He only did it for an hour or so one day, 2 hours the next day, and he has spent most of his day there today.
Well, that happened to Fighter too. Fighter and Hartman were the only two to have more than 20 pounds on days 1 and 2, and then yesterday both came in 17.8.
Right.
Lot less than the first 2 days.
Jamie Hartman was able to make, he was also able to make really, really critical calls, either in the gut, the area that separates New York and Vermont, or the Inland Sea. We never saw him really in either of those. Saw him in the gut for maybe a few minutes, and that was it.
What's really interesting about this, I've been keeping up with the smallmouth and the largemouth. We haven't seen many largemouth, if any, today. Those are green, obviously. Smallmouth are the brown ones that we've been seeing get caught. Looking at the way they lay out, Seth Feider, second place unofficially right now, would only have 12 smallmouth and 8 largemouth out of his 20 fish. Brandon Polinick, meanwhile, would have 18 smallmouth, 2 largemouth, and Jamie Hartman 17 and 3. I was actually dead wrong on how many smallmouth would actually need to be weighed in. I thought more largemouth would be weighed in to win. Seth Feider's done that this week, catching 8 of them out of his 20. But man, somebody almost having 20 smallmouth will win this event.
Yes.
And a lot of it, everybody who watched on day number 2 or has seen highlights of day number 2 was probably hoping sometime or another today Seth Feider would go to those boat docks, try to catch a big largemouth. We were hoping. I'm talking about us. And I guess the lack of sunshine to get those fish positioned in a marina, boat dock type situation played a part in that.
I think Seth genuinely thought, if I go up to that North Flat on the New York side and catch 20 pounds, I'm going to win this tournament. And I think he's done that. I just think out of nowhere, there was just a mega bag of smallies that are, I think, going to really surprise the other 9 guys that were on that water.
That's what it took last time here in 2017, 23-pound bag.
Wow.
Way back in 2006, Denny Brower only did 23 pounds on the last day.
The biggest bag of the tournament weighed in so far, Jamie Hartman, 22 pounds, 1 ounce. That was his day 1 leading weight. He had 3 smallmouth, 2 largemouth. To eclipse that with all smallmouth, I mean, Polinick's no doubt done that. His smallest was at least a 4+ pounder.
We will not soon forget that first hour from noon to 1 o'clock at what Brandon Polinick was able to do. A lot of it in the middle of some crashing waves there. And man, oh man, that was just a masterful performance right there. Just every aspect of it was just top level performance.
And we said it was going to growl. The nice thing is, it's going to do it really in the last half hour and not beat up our anglers, our cameramen. We're coming off a bouncy one from Lake Ontario a week ago.
Oh yeah. Our cameramen are ready to rest and recuperate for a little bit right now, and we are thankful that we have not had any of them get excessively beat up. We assume they haven't been.
They stocked
up
on
easy
the
for
adrenaline.
any of them. That is for sure. Everyone making their way back to weigh-in time. Coming up at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be right back.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is being brought to you live by Skeeter Boats.
When I'm on the road for work or for fun, I always like to have a reliable generator around. This open frame inverter from Champion is ideal because it's lighter than a standard open frame generator and more affordable than a traditional inverter. The remote start helps me start up the generator or shut it off without having to leave my camper. It provides essential power for things like charging my boat batteries, also makes life a lot more comfortable for myself and my family.
It's been said that a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work. Getting you to that fishing spot is key. And Bully Dog gets your truck road ready. No matter where, we give you the horsepower and towing torque right when you need it. We make getting there better. Make your ride a Bully Dog.
You don't know their names yet, but you will.
The Bassmaster Elite at Lake Champlain is brought to you by Abu Garcia, Berkeley, Nitro Boats, and by Ranger Boats.
Well, today on ABC and the ESPN app, we'll have 2 more NBA games for you from the bubble at Disney. Trailblazers Celtics, it's at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. And in our primetime game, it's Giannis and the Bucks taking on James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and the Rockets. Special NBA countdown gets you hyped, set to go at 8 Eastern.
Sick promo, Tommy. Taking a look at it.
Yes, sure was.
It's been a long week.
Oh, yeah.
It has been a great event here on Lake Champlain. And boy, coming into this morning, really one thing we did not talk about this morning, before these anglers went out, this was the tightest top 10 of any tournament we have ever covered in 20 years.
Brandon Polinick with that lead so far as we know right now. Unofficially, nothing gets official till we absolutely get the weigh-in going and get it started. I want to take you on a trip here. I'm going to start at Plattsburgh. I'm going to take a fairly long trip.
Well, what are we
farther than the one we made this past week?
Lay of the world.
Well, lay of the world. We go from our Hummingbird Lay of the Lake
to
our next lake. You know where we're going, a place you're a little bit familiar with.
I live right down the road from Lake St. Clair and actually got a report from some of our friends that fished in that tournament yesterday. And I mean, it was a beatdown like our New York event on the St. Lawrence River, Lake Ontario. Our anglers, I believe, if nothing changes, protocol will be U.S. side only. And the rumor is the U.S. side is absolutely on fire. You're already looking at one of the best smallmouth fisheries in the world. And right now, it is as good as it's been. I remember when this broadcast started, I said, St. Clair's been a little bit off. I was a little bit off.
You were a little bit off.
What's it going to do in a month, though?
Hey,
it's almost a
better.
month.
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah, it will, for sure. The cooler the nights get, really taking a look at our anglers coming in to weigh in, the cooler the nights get, the better the smallmouth fishing typically gets this time of year. I hate to say it, our summer is ending in the next couple weeks.
Hey, one thing worth noting and mentioning, we haven't seen him today on camera. Jason Williamson, been in tough service all day, was on one of those flats that we've seen produced today. It'll be interesting to see what he weighs in. Keep him on your radar as a possible guy in the top 5 at weigh-in.
Hey, fish catch for us. How about that, Takuhiro?
I bet Corey Johnston's just loving that in the background. Just absolutely loving that. You know.
No. Yes.
Hey.
Wow.
Not bad.
Last minute big one.
Yeah. It's a bonus.
Johnston's 9th and Taco is 10th. They may switch places with that one.
Oh my goodness. Good stuff.
He's in a mood.
Yes, he
Corey
is.
Johnston, rough day today. Great 2 weeks on the Bassmasters.
He was one of our top 10ers. So was Taku Ito, both those guys. Not only those two, but also Brock Mosley, we mentioned him, and our leader unofficially right now, Brandon Polinick, went to the St. Lawrence River, a place he's won before, made it into the top 10. I believe he finished 10th. This week slid into the top 10 in 5th place, had a shot to win, and he is unofficially our leader.
The Johnston family of Ontario is still sort of celebrating, I assume, a big breakthrough that happened last week on the St. Lawrence and Lake Ontario. Brother Chris Johnston won that tournament to be the first Canadian angler to hoist a Bassmaster Elite Series trophy. That was big. We get ready to get Plattsburgh in our sights right now. Hats off to Plattsburgh. Fantastic host city. We appreciate those folks.
We absolutely do. It's been a successful couple weeks in New York for sure. Tommy Sanders, our power pole replay of the day. It is fair to say it's the easiest Power Pole replay of the day to pick in the history of replays.
Thank you.
Correct.
Thank you.
Brandon Palaniuk, he didn't have a lot of ground. He didn't need to catch a giant stringer to take over the lead today, but he did exactly that.
Beautiful. See, that's what
A
I'm talking about.
45-minute flurry in the inland sea. I hate to say it, a lot of our viewers that are from New York wanted this tournament won in New York waters. Well, guess what, friends? It didn't. Brandon Palaniuk going over to the Vermont side, getting it done in a big way with, unofficially, the biggest stringer we will have seen all week long. You are the Power Pole replay of the day.
Different quality, a different build of fish in the inland sea compared to the ones that are on those main lake flats, chasing those perch.
So good at catching them, putting them in the boat, all his efficiency, all his great technique, but really it all pales into the fact that he located the ones, the difference makers on this final day. As you guys say, a different class of small.
I believe that's him right there.
Different demeanor this morning than any other angler in the top 10. Ronnie and Such do a Facebook Live that's not on ESPN2 before the tournament begins, before the anglers go out. Palaniuk just sounded different than everybody else. There was more confidence in his voice.
A real sly.
Yes.
Like, he couldn't say his game plan without that sly smile. And I'm excited to see, like you said, Z, only started the day 1-1 behind, and he was 5th place, 1 pound, 1 ounce behind, and then you put the biggest bag of the tournament on there. I want to see what Seth Feider's fish weigh in at. I want to see what Jamie Hartman weighs in at, and you'll be able to see it go down on Bassmaster.com, the weigh-in coming up right when we're done.
We caught today, like, we just had to start laughing. It was incredible. Like, we got on a couple runs where we just caught them and caught them and caught them, and it was, I think I have the biggest bag that I've had all week, and you can't ask for any more. Thank you. That was a stressful ride back. I pushed it a little too much.
Wow. We just got to see some of that infectious laughter that you see once in a while when a guy just keeps catching, just like he talked about, right? You just have to laugh at some point. You just have to say, man, oh man. What's going on?
He literally beat the brakes off of him all day, all week long. Tommy Sanders, big thanks to everybody that's joined us, not only this week, but last week on Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River. New York was an absolute success. Anybody that's tuned in, this was a couple big weeks for the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Hats off. I love New York. We all love New York.
I love you.
I love you, and we love these anglers here. The Bassmaster Elite Series, we're going to have a new champion, and quite possibly one who's picking up his 4th trophy. But you got to check out the weigh-in to find out, and that's going to start just seconds away. We'll see you next time.